Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Data Anomaly Hunter's Scar, Season 1, Episode 5, The Mystery Begins. This is one of our Digimon tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom Scar system, or Stories and Creatures in Alternate Realities. This system is in open playtest and available for you all to go check out either through our Discord or it is over on itch.io now. So go take a look, let us know what you think. We are also sponsored for this stream by Make Your Tale. You can find more details about them down in the description below. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with introductions, beginning with Zerda.
Hi, I'm Zoda. I'm the storyteller in all of this, and I'm here to craft something hopefully everyone can enjoy. So, looking forward to today's session. Up to you, Arcus.
Hey, I'm Gimund, and I'm playing Arcus, the very hyperactive Harrismon, who is an electric basic type. Onto the Asher.
Hello everybody, I am Razim, and I am playing as Ether, the Labramon. God of Death, Lord of Evil, and tired of crazy old ladies that are claiming to be able to see things even though they're blind. Off to you, Haboku.
Hello, y'all. I'm IDDoThings, or Ido if you prefer, and I play Haboku, El Delugamon, a necrotic fire air type, hip husk of a puppy. Hey, onto the Jace. Also, bark.
Lol. Hello, I'm Drunk Dragonair, and I'll be playing Jace tonight, the Black Gillimon X that will be Shadow Mythic typing. Yes, brain totally function today. I'm not having brain issues. Under Kotora.
Hello everybody, I'm Raharu and I'll be playing Kotora, the mythic fire type Gabumon. On to you, Riv.
Hello, I am Talderis, and I will be playing Riv, the mythic water type of Orvamon.
Alright, and for the recap, well, I think you probably had the most impactful scene last time, Haboku, so go for it.
Generous bestowal.
And Gimund, thank you very much for that tip.
$10 traditional ramblings.
That is the first tier of the tip goal completed. Thank you.
A generous bestowal. IDDoThings tipped $10. Razim loves.
Thank you for the tip, Ido. That is the second tier of the tip goal completed. Wait. Oh, God.
Generous bestowal.
Okay, I'll just stop
I'll write this
repeating it.
Regin tipped $20. Who wants 160 washclothes today?
Oh, God.
What?
So, earlier this week, he was doing some online shopping thing, I think. And basically, somebody ordered 160 washcloths. Not of assorted colors. They had to find one specific variety of color that their stuff was saying was in stock, and he had to get like 3 other people to help him find them, and it turned out that they were in an outside, the rest were in an outside little cargo thing, which they then had to find a key for it.
I hate that kind of stuff.
I would ask why anybody needs that many washcloths, but then I realize I really don't want to know if they're ordering that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those recently where we found out that putting something in B- grade status still kept it available for listing, even though B status takes it out of listing. And C status takes it out of listing.
Well, you see, it's better than
Ah.
bad. It's good. It's log.
So B- for some reason, even though it is listed as needs repair, would still be listed, so we sold a bunch of stuff that was in B- status that we had to rush to repair. I hate garbage like that.
So I believe we continued off the previous session, and on the same day of Asher restoring the grandson's and arms, or at least is providing a substitute for the time being. Okay, everyone pretty much settled in from the night, ate after Kotora, um, and grandfather or Mushman had made dinner. Riv Iv had pulled Arcus aside to do some get a closer look at him after his strange reaction and to the glitch hitch prior or before, and compiled a bunch of data on it, noting that had Arcus strangely had a lot of I believe compressed S data inside of him.
His data was abnormally dense, up to 3 times as dense as a normal Digimon's.
Yes, that. And as well as noting that Arcus had some of the glitch itch affecting his brain. And
Yep, near the memory core.
right, noted. And going from there, after making sure to compile all of this information, and had basically prepared to relay all of this to the party the next day. Okay, unless I'm missing something else. I believe Kotora was also keeping an eye on Riv while he was doing so.
Ido, I think your mic might be a little too close to you.
How's that?
Better.
Much better.
Okay. Sorry, new headset. Not sure how to use it just yet.
Remember, do not eat the microphone. Just put it near your mouth.
Sorry, puppy things. Anyway, meanwhile, Haboku was exhibiting some strange behavior. After that night, he more or less just remained aimed in one spot throughout the evening, as though keeping watch for something, or just trying to think on himself. So he couldn't really tell. So he was in the room with Jason Astor, who had turned in for the night, and eventually, upon seeing that Haboku was still the same way in the morning, and Jace had snapped at Haboku out of his stupor. From there, Wander Meal.
I was muted during my belated sigh.
Wonder Meal, breakfast, and some rambling from the grandfather towards Haboku regarding the museum and just some other stuff that Riv also picked up on and took notes on. And from there, the party took off. At least half of it did. Half of it, the other half us having to catch up before Jace finally laid down some ground rules specifically to Haboku and Arcus that they needed to stick with the group. Eventually, the party had reached a station or entrance to the town whose name I'm forgetting. Domovoy, was it? Or was that
Oh, no,
something else?
that's for the other thing. This is Shashen.
Dafan, yeah. Yeah, soft and more or less it's got an idea of what the area was like before all the glitch stuff started happening to it. Upon reaching the town proper, we can kind of see that the glitch had left quite the negative impact on the as and the town as a whole. A lot of buildings, things were are either inhabitable or just as make it strictly on their lower floors now, if I'm correct.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Either the buildings were uninhabitable because of the
Oh yeah, a good portion of them. There's still a few standing in town, but a good portion of them have been unusable.
yeah, figured. And moving forward, heard Haboku wanting to go to the museum, had asked requested that the party go there first, to which they agreed, and were greeted with the sight of many of the guardians, and where I believe Haboku was approached by Babaman, I believe it was.
It was a Babaman.
Okay. And his name was I forget the name.
Shota was the name.
Shota. Yes. Shota had approached Haboku. And more or less, while Haboku was examining a statue of a guardian with the same name, trying to piece together his fragmented memory, the Babaman Shota had said that Haboku was a guardian. Haboku isn't at the moment not sure how to process that information, and he still does not have great memory. And Asher was very blunt with her. More
Asher
or
is
less.
blunt with everyone.
Of course he is.
Asher just doesn't have a filter.
After interacting with most of the party, eventually Shota had approached Arcus, who, upon introducing himself by his name, had responded that that was as false, and that apparently Arcus's name came to her from her perspective was someone else's apparently. But after that confusing bit of information, and
She was just crazy. That was all there was to it. Absolutely insane. Should not listen to her. She probably should be in a home.
She has a home. It's in north of the town.
A elderly assistance home.
oh yeah, I believe Riv was the one who'd asked for her location, if I'm not mistaken, or where she was staying, or was it Kotora?
Yeah. I think it was.
Riv asked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was Viv they were asking.
Yeah. Moving on, and Arcus had gone on to see the Guardian, and from where it was from, and was very displeased to find that the Guardian and I believe staff was taken, and before disclosing that the Guardian in particular was his father. And moving forward, they had visited the Forest Guardian, and that, according to Jace, was very unfitting thing. Guardian was a very unfitting term for them.
I see the censorship has shown up today. Which is
Well,
probably
we
good.
are
Well,
within
in
a
a-
certain period.
Yeah, only need 30 more seconds and we'll be good.
Yes, and very strangely, well, a number of the Guardians had been affected and by the glitch in some facet, shape, or form. This Guardian in particular, or saying Lupman, and has currently remained untouched. totally not raising any red flags in their direction. Absolutely not. And after that, I believe we finally departed to the believe it was a theater, or to meet
Open
our
world theater.
an open world theater to meet our contact, Kamemon, and God, I am bad with names right now.
Bagiri.
Yeah, Rigiri. Having meet Rigiri, who was also dealing with another group of glitch victims, or particularly one, a Shoutmon and an Ogremon, and I believe so. The Shoutmon having lost their voice, it seemed to the glitch. And upon introducing ourselves to them, Rigiri initially requested to take our picture, but given the amount of suspicious activity between glitch victims and pictures, everyone was kind of just not on board with it at the moment. Though we did learn recently that apparently with a Galgamon, Anglemon, and another one, and
The other one left town. It's a Agiomon and a Gamamon.
yeah,
Were the other cameramen.
yeah. So you have some ideas on who might have been taking pictures. We also learned that a certain Digimon and has Jace's arm, and Jace wants their blood. And I believe we ended off with Frigiri taking us to his to an inn, and that was more or less his well, so we could all just eat a fish, meet proper, and set up a plan or something. Yeah. I believe that's it, unless anyone has anything to add.
Negativo.
Okay, I think you got everything pretty accurate. So where you left off was essentially you all going to the Flaming Main, for you guys to go to where Bagiri has been staying. As you kind of go through the town, you kind of see the various buildings. Most of the buildings are still usable enough, but a large chunk of them have been essentially relegated to being closed down temporarily until their buildings come back. As you can see, a lot of the smaller one-story buildings that originally got hit by the rain haven't been able to really or risk trying to build it up, especially with the smaller one-floor buildings being the ones that don't really have obviously a lot of income to be able to fix those. You can always try building over it, and you can even see as you go around a few shops that was once, you can imagine a full shops are now having their wares, and they're kind of outside their shop trying to sell stuff, though their stock seems to be pretty limited as they can only sell so much of it. But you make your way through the town, heading down to the south of the town, and the south of the town you'll see the top floor seems to be pretty glitched over from the rains that came, but most of the building, as it's one of the larger buildings in town, seems to be pretty intact. You see what looks to be what looks to be kind of like a lion's mane with like a breathing fire kind of coming through it, and it's called the Flaming Mane. And inside, you would see. Well, actually, I don't want to get too far ahead. You will see this building as Rigiri seems to be kind of telling you some of the places that he's visited and some of the information. Though he kind of seems to be trying to get back, because he mentions that all of his photos of the like is in his room where he's been doing the investigating. So as he's trying to take you all guys there. But yeah, you guys are walking through the town, making your way to the Flaming Mane. Assuming everyone's following him, obviously.
Asher is.
Oh, yeah.
Suspiciously.
Riv is like right behind him, trying to listen to all of his ramblings. Riv is a simple being. People are offering information, and so he listens.
No, you see, Jace secretly is following in the back. He's not going to sneak off. That's mean.
Especially from Mr. No running off.
Yes.
Merle_2009 tipped $10.
Raijin and Merle, because I forgot to thank Raijin earlier. Thank you for those tips, and everybody else, thank you as well. That is the tip goal fully completed. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And also, we have fan art, which I know all of you here in the voice chat have already seen, probably, but for you guys on stream, we've got Riv doing a question. They have been asked 1,000 plus questions already. And Riv says, okay, one more question.
Oh no.
A trauma so powerful it bypasses memory loss to inflict dread.
This was done by Ido.
Truly a horrific period.
Yeah. Haboku is just following curiously. He also listening, but probably not as attentively as Riv would be.
And Arcus is following too.
Ah, good. I don't have to get leashes out for half y'all.
Kotora is following too, obviously.
And as you do, then you kind of see the town. You can tell that obviously the size of the city, the size of the town seems like it would fit a lot more people than what are currently there. You'd imagine that a lot of the people have, just by density alone, there doesn't seem to be near as many tourists as you can imagine. Where if anyone has passed through this town on the way down, they would know that this town was a lot busier last time they went through. But with all of the glitch and everything, people have been essentially afraid to do a lot of the various enjoyments of the town. And as you kind of get to there, you get to the Flame Main, you see Rigiri offer you all and says, come in, my room's on the top floor. Well, at least to the top floor, that's now the top floor. The most top floor kind of got rid of during the rains and stuff, but I got the second to the top floor. All my photos are up there. And he opens the door for you all, kind of gesturing you all in.
Alright, Riv will happily go inside.
Kotora follows behind.
Same with Arcus.
Asher is going to inspect things before he goes in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a basic, we'll pull up the stats again, but investigation check. That's...
You could take one from Haboku.
Oh, Haboku is sus of this guy too. Cool.
I just imagine Haboku or Asher starts to sniff around the door, and Haboku immediately sticks his feet next to Asher's and starts sniffing too.
Well,
That is a good headcanon.
there's a 3.
You notice that, like they mentioned, the top of the building itself seems to have been affected by the glitch. However, the other parts of the building seems to be pretty intact. It seems whatever's causing the degradation doesn't seem to be affecting the tavern as much as some of the other buildings have. Either this building is lucky, or whatever you may think from that, but it definitely seems that this one at least has had less damage than some of the others. Though, keeping in mind that it does seem to be one of the bigger ones in town, so you're not sure if they've just had the funds to repair it, or what have. But it definitely does seem safe to be inside.
Asher's going for an insight on the cameraman.
Okay. He seems genuinely excited to have you guys here. He seems to be talking a little bit fast, though you imagine that's more from his kind of paparazzi kind of lifestyle. He seems to be talking pretty fast, but he seems to be basically telling you guys his body seems very comfortable with you guys around. He seems to want to share what he has. He seems almost like it's someone interested. It's kind of like that feeling of someone being interested in your hobby, and his eyes kind of light up as you guys ask him about photos, and he starts talking about like camera stuff. It kind of seems to be very much his personality is camera-related activities.
Yes. He's very excited to have us here because he plans to steal our traits from us. Yes, I see.
Well, he's more than welcome to steal while not living. Hang from Haboku.
How does the do you take his offer to go inside the building, or are you going to look around outside where everyone else goes inside?
You know what? Yeah, he's gonna look around outside. He's gonna look at Jace and quietly say, I'm gonna check around outside for a moment. I'll be in a sec.
All right, you going to Haboku?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
All right, stay together, report in, don't take longer than an hour. You know the rules, Asher. And actually follow them this time. None of this, ha, I'm evil thing. Follow the rules.
Absolutely.
Boops Asher's snout. We'll walk in. He's going right to the bar.
Asher is looking for a basement or anything else that might be hidden around this building.
Okay. We'll get to you guys' investigation in a second. As the rest of you guys go inside the building, you see what looks to be a lessly populated than what you can imagine. The capacity of the inside is clearly not at capacity. However, there does seem to be various Digimon from various regions around here. They seem to be having drink and light refreshments as well as the general talk. Though if you were to listen to any conversation, you can tell that most of them does seem to be travelers as they mention their various adventures and the like. You see at the head of the bar, you see a Flamemon. Then they seem to be almost excited as they're moving around with various drinks. You see them almost lighting one or two glasses on fire with a round of applause after doing so. And you see them, it seems they haven't been hampered too much through business, but a lot of people seem to be traveling now that most of the outside seems to have less activity. There seems to be more activity, at least in this bar, from what you can tell. You see them, you see the Flamon wave as Rigiri kind of waves over to them and gives them kind of like, you kind of see them like point their hand up, letting them know that they're going to go up to the room. And the Flamon kind of waves back a little bit as Rigiri gestures you over to the staircase.
Riv is
You wanna
going
see
to
the
give the
pitch?
flame. Riv is going to give the flame mono a wave too before he goes up.
You see him
He's just
wave
being a bit
back.
friendly. Just a bit friendly.
Yeah, I'm on the second floor up here. I'll have to take you up the stairs to get up there. Though he kind of notices you, Jace, going off. If you want to stay down here, feel free to grab a refreshment. The pitchers aren't going to go anywhere.
Just
But
give
I'll
the
be
thumbs
happy
up.
to. Where would you like to sit? At the bar itself or at one of the tables?
Yep, he's gonna slide at the bar. He's gonna lean back and be like, "What room you in, by the way?"
He goes, I'm in room 270.
Thank you. Kotora, you got it.
Kotora gives a thumbs up.
Okay, keep the kids under control.
Of course.
It turns back to the bar. Nope, he'll sit at the bar proper if there's space.
There is.
Probably off to
There's
the
a-
side so nobody trips over his damn tail.
You'll find a space enough at the bars. There seems to be a few chairs. A lot of people seem to be taking the tables, as you can imagine that they want to get off their feet over at the benches and the like. A few at the bar, though, and there's a seat enough for you. As you see them, the Flamon gestures over that he'll get to you in 1 second, as you see him kind of performing as well as taking a few orders himself. As Rigiri takes you guys over to the staircase over in the east side of the building. And with that, I want to Asher and Haboku. One of you can give me another investigation check with the, I'm guessing, teamwork together.
Give me just 1 minute, or add one from Asher there, Haboku.
Okay, noted. Give me a second.
Good.
I'll go with mind instinct investigation.
Perfect.
I am back. Sorry about that.
Come back.
One, two, three, four, five. As you guys are going around the building, there doesn't seem to be any like basement in the sense of like no cellar or no like staircases on the outside of the building. You do pick up the faint smell of almost like a vinegar smell in the air. You can tell it's coming from the building itself, but what direction you're not entirely sure. It seems to be on the, as you're kind of going around the building a few times sniffing, it seems to be around the west side of the building that you kind of smell that almost vinegary kind of smell coming from the building. You're not sure if it's from the kitchen or from something else, but there doesn't seem to be any like cellars or anything as you go around the building. There does seem to be on the back end, as you kind of go around, it's kind of like the whole area is kind of like a strip a little bit. And on the back end, you do see a door. As you can imagine that is where either the waste has come out. As you kind of see, there is a few different spots for various food waste as well as other waste in the back end. And there is that door that kind of leads it, though the waste does seem to be a little bit far away from the back end of the building, as it seems to be more of a shared kind of thing between the various buildings to the left and right. The vinegar does not seem to be coming from the trash cans, though, I will say that.
The what does not seem to be?
The vinegar smell.
Yeah.
Well, then let's follow that vinegar smell.
You would go around the building, and it does seem to be strongest on the west side, though you're kind of staring at the wall. It seems to be almost, you're not really too sure if it's up or down, but at least not without being able to investigate a story up or a story down, but you do smell it coming from the west side of the building.
I see no reason not to follow it still.
Okay.
Figure out where it's coming
give
from.
me- Okay. Then as you try to begin to smell it, like I said, you're kind of hit with the general odor. You kind of have to like put your face up to essentially the building itself. It does seem to be strong near the base of the building, but it also seems to be very faintly strong as well coming from the top. So it's kind of like the middle doesn't seem to be really as strong, but above it, it's a little bit stronger, and then below it's a lot stronger.
So it seems to be coming from below the building?
At the base of the building.
So the ground floor, I'm assuming.
From the outside of the building, you can only make assumptions.
So we're smelling this on the outside of the building, but it seems to be coming from inside?
Oh, yes. It's not on the like the outside isn't the cause of it. It's just vaguely strong enough. Like, you guys have really, really strong sniffers. It's more of like kind of picking up very faintly through the walls itself.
What now?
Well, now I think we need to... I think we need to go inside. And try to find where this spot is on the inside of the building. This is suspicious. Let's go in the back, though.
Okay. He's not questioning at all why is his thing going through the back.
As you go to the back of the building, you do see a door that does seem to be, I mean, you see the door, like I said, that mentions it goes to the outside. Like I said, you'd imagine that it's most likely the kitchen or some sort of kitchen or prep room, as it is a inn with both food and drink. Are you trying to break and enter?
I was going to ask, for the door open or is it closed?
You can try opening the door. The door is very much locked.
Do we have badges for us being, part of the Anomaly Hunters? Or any other form of identification?
I think you were given a very, very small badge. from
Perfect.
I think if I'm not mistaken, you were given a very small badge.
Hey, that's perfect. Asher is going to knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and there doesn't seem to be any immediate answer. You're not sure if it's, like I said, oh, hold on a second. Like I said, there doesn't seem to be any answer, though you can hear on the inside, just from where you guys are, you can hear a lot of talking, a lot of ruckusing, hear about, you would know this, the inside of the tavern, and most of these taverns are run by 1 or 2 people who kind of go in and out. You could always try waiting a little bit and knocking back again, but at the moment, no one seems to be responding.
All right, Haboku, break down the door.
That's not gonna make Jace upset, is it?
Oh, I guess you're right. It probably
That's the
would.
concern.
Well, of course. Why would we care about what these criminal scum think?
Exactly.
I'm just enjoying the fact that Haboku and Asher are winding up, you know, getting into these shenanigans together most often. God of Death and Undead Pupper. Perfect combo.
I'm just glad that you guys are more afraid of Jace than you are of the consequences of your actions.
I mean, that feels pretty in character.
As you guys are doing this, I will say the rest of the party is going upstairs. He takes you all. Rigiri does, as Zilix says, this is taking a little bit for Ash and Haboku to do all this. The rest of you guys all heading up to the stairs. As you see him go a few rooms down, kind of counting. The numbers seem to be a little bit at there doesn't clearly seem to be 70 rooms on this floor.
Teach my hamster to suck eggs.
That's an influence.
Let me see what
That might require a higher level, but I'll send it along to Zerda.
I'm curious what influence is
I will say, as soon as we as soon as we finish magic for Scar, Asher is totally getting into necromancy.
Shocked Pikachu face, everybody.
let me think on that a second, and I will get back to that in a second while I get the other scene. Let me complete this other scene first, and then we'll get back to that.
Take your time. I need to step away for a couple of minutes again, so take your time.
You're good, buddy. Okay, and so the rest of you kind of go up the stairs. Like I said, the numbers don't really seem to line up in terms of like 70. The numbers are ordered in a ordered fashion, but you finally get to the room labeled 270. It seems to be about halfway up through the, halfway down the hallway. As you go inside the room, as you guys head inside the room, all of you can almost smell a scent of vinegar that seems to be coming from the room. As you guys all step inside, you can see what looks to be several pictures that seem to be kind of hanged up on various clips and the like that seem to be developing, as the clips or as the pictures themselves seem to be kind of, if you've ever seen one of those really old like film rooms, you also can tell there's almost a faint kind of like red glow about the room. Sorry, it's really dark in here. I gotta make sure all the photos develop properly. I've been trying to take pictures of all over the town, but I can hear, and you kind of see him grabbing a few of the, you kind of see him grabbing a bag. Here's the ones that I've already developed. Let me show you these first. As he kind of, as he goes inside and he takes the bag and then comes outside of the room and then closes the door behind him. I just want to make sure I grabbed my bag real fast, and he kind of opens it up, and you kind of see him shuffling through a few different photos. I think there's a table at the yeah, and he points over at the end of the hallway where you see a very, very nice looking table that seems to be looking out a window on the second floor. Yeah, we can sit over here a little bit. It's at least with all like, excuse me. At least now that all 6 of you aren't here, it won't be as crowded. So come over here and sit down. Sit down. And you see him go over, and he kind of plops his bag at the end of the hallway where the table is, and you see him beginning to like put some pictures out onto the table.
All right, Riv will immediately go over and start looking at the pictures.
Kotora is right behind him.
Arcus is curious too.
Yeah, there's only 3 of you up here. You successfully split the party 3 ways. As you look through, he shows you some of the towns, some of the more basic, like some of the things in the town that has been visited. You do see a few of the attractions in town, and it seems to have pictures of them as well as the things. As you can tell from you see what looks to be various Digimon of the town, and outside their either attraction, you see what looks to be a Shellmon, a Hookmon, as well as an Alkaliomon that seems to be outside a ferry service. You see a very, very happy looking Captain Digimon as they kind of have they're standing on the back of this what looks to be very large turtle kind of Digimon. And you kind of see above it where it says Kero and Kama's Fairy Sail Adventures. He says, this seemed to be affected by the glitch just last week. I was able to get a picture in before everything happened, so it was kind of, they look so happy in these photos. And here, and he'll show you what looks to be a few pictures of some of the farms. Here's one of the place that grows the hops and barleys, and this one grows nuts and seeds, and this one grows flowers. And he kind of shows you, and you see various people of the town. Oh, and this one too. And you see him actually taking a picture of the various other inns in town. Here's all the other inns if you want to visit them. I hear some of the problems have been happening over there, but not all of them are affected. And he just kind of begins to show you these pictures from the various from the towns' locations.
All right. Riv is going to ask if Rigiri has a map of the town.
Oh, yes. He kind of looks. The map itself is in the brochure, and he pulls out one of the brochures. I've marked a few locations on here that might be of interest to you. And he says you would all recognize the brochure, though upon closer look you do see that the one he has seems to have some circles and X's dotted throughout. What are you looking for specifically?
I kind of want to look around and see if there's any geographical, correspondence to what bad things have happened in what locations, to see if there's any areas that have been hit particularly hard by the rain, or if it's just completely random scattered throughout the town.
Let's see. It looks like whenever, and he's kind of taking his arm and kind of like, or his finger kind of like pointing out. It seemed to come in from, like I said, it looks like it came in from the east and moved to the west. It didn't hit didn't hit too far north of the town, but a few of the areas here, and here, as he points out some of the inns, it seemed to kind of wash over the town in pretty fast fashion. The rain seemed to hit most everything from a top layer's perspective, so things like this ferry ended up getting affected a lot more, as there's not really as much building over there. And I think the farms got hit pretty hard. The inns are mostly okay because they have multiple floors to them. And let's see. And the north and south seem to be pretty okay, outside of what kind of looks. Yeah, the south seemed to be pretty okay, actually. It was mostly just the east to the west of the town. That's where most of the farmland is over to the west, though. They seem to be hit pretty hard as well.
We're just gonna think for a second and go. So rain like mostly hits the roof, but it also will hit the sides a bit. Is there been any problems with that?
Yeah, it looks. You see him kind of looking around. I think a few people have been claiming their windows and stuff have been taken, and it's been making the outside of the buildings look pretty nasty itself, but it doesn't seem to have put a hole through any of the sides of the buildings. Most of the buildings here are made of made of brick or some sort of metal, so they've mostly been untouched in terms of the side. The top seems to be what got hit most of the time. Oh, and some of the windows too, as they're made of thinner material.
Have any of the townsfolk gone off to the east to try and see what's going on?
Kind of things. I think I heard one of the other camera. I think I heard one of the other paparazzi going that way. I think it was the Gamamon. I think he was headed out that way. He said something about trying to investigate over to the east, but I haven't gone out that way myself.
Okay. Okay. So, have you been? Are there any places that you've taken pictures of multiple times, like, after the rains hit?
Kind of thinks for a bit. Yeah, I've been investigating all the town for the major city. Kenzo and kind of points over in the general direction of the south. Kenzo's been paying me to help take pictures of all the glitches and stuff. I have a few pictures of some of the places after they've been hit, and he'll show you, like, he'll pull out a side-by-side comparison. Here's the shell shack before it was hit, and you kind of see, and there's both of them standing there. I went to go investigate it after, and he kind of shows you, here's before everything happened, here's a week ago, and then here's a few days after. And you see, a week ago, it seemed to be pretty fine, outside of just some general damage, but the last picture that he pulls out seems to have where there's a lot more affecting it. You can even see both the Acleomon as well as the Hookmon seem to have parts of their body that seem to have been affected by the glitch at this point. I think they must have gotten hit by it or something on the inside, because they seem to be fine after the rains hit, but something happened to them a few days ago, maybe about 4 or 5 days ago, when I went to go take a follow-up picture on what's going on, and they seem to have parts missing from them.
Okay.
Oh,
Were
and
they,
and
were
he
they in
also
the
brings
house at
out
the time?
What do you say?
Were they in the house at the time?
They said that it just kind of happened to him at some point. They said it just kind of started affecting him. I went to go ask him about it and investigate what was going on, and they mentioned that the Hookmon's arms seemed to just kind of start dematerializing one day into this like glitch format. He's been trying to. Luckily, it's only his cannon arm, so it hasn't been affecting him too much. But well, anyone losing a limb is gonna be freaked out by it. He's been making do, though, and then the Arcaleomon seems to have had their shell kind of affected as well. It's not entirely, but it looks like parts of their shell were taken from the glitch as well. They mentioned that it wasn't there whenever it happened originally, so whatever happened a few, maybe 4 or 5 days ago. And he kind of shows you, this picture was taken a week ago, and this one was taken 4 or 5 days ago.
Has there been any differences in people that were outside when the rains hit and were inside when the rains hit?
Well, when the rains began to hit, we originally had kind of had an alarm go throughout the town. So most of the east side is the people who actually got affected by it most. and he kind of points. There was one farm over to the east, and he points. This one's by a Palmon. I think her name was Sue, and she ended up getting her farm affected, but even she was able to get indoors in time. And it seems most people were able to find some sort of shelter. Being in a tourist town, we have all kinds of buildings here. It was a very
Yeah, but-
scary time, though.
But okay, let me be a little bit more specific. Okay, so was there any differences in terms of people losing things more or less between those who were inside when the rains hit and those who were outside?
It kind of looks. It seems to be striking a lot of people at random. I haven't really been able to find a connection so far, so I haven't been able to give a good guess. Like I said, the Shoutmon and the others seem, and kind of points. The Shoutmon and both of the people at the ferry seemed to have their stuff taken, and they said they were indoors at the time.
Okay, so there is no correlation between them being inside or outside when the rains hit, which means that people losing things isn't related to the rains. It just started happening after. It's not actually caused by the rains themselves.
Yeah, he seemed kind of looking down at the table. I wish it was the rains. Those haven't showed up in 2 weeks. It'd be a lot easier if it was.
Which means that there's still an active influence, and it's still taking what seems to be specific parts of people. If it's like, taking specifically the cannon arm or a voice. So it's also specifically targeting the strengths of people. And it's not related to the rain, which means that there is still something going on here where it's being directed.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to uncover. I've been trying to figure out this for a while now. I don't have too many leads other than the people that have been affected. It's been so sad trying to figure out, and me spending all my time trying to make sure all the photos develop in my room hasn't let me be able to investigate as much as I want. But that's why they sent you guys. You guys are the first investigation team to show up from Kinzo.
Yeah, have you had any photos going missing?
Kind of thinks. Outside of the ones I give people, I like to give people photos of whenever I complete whenever I complete developing the photos. I like to give it to them, but no one's been stealing my photos. I keep them up in my room pretty well. You guys are the
Okay.
only ones that even know what my room is.
Okay, that's good considering, photos being risky right now.
Indeed.
Well, I think right now our biggest lead is to go find the other photographer that went out to the east. What do you guys think?
That sounds the most sound, yes.
You could also ask the Pokemon in that shell Digimon if they had their picture taken.
I mean, we know they had their picture taken. They had a lot. There was a lot of paparazzi in their culture taking their pictures. The two others that Regiri mentioned were also there.
Ah.
So,
Okay.
pictures are definitely still dangerous. And I think our biggest lead is to the east. Which we kind of had to go to the east anyway because that's where the rains came from, but even if they aren't the actual person we're looking for, a photographer going to the east afterwards is still going to be potentially helpful. But they definitely are the most suspicious person right now.
I could be happy to tag along with you guys. Might be able to figure out some more stuff. I might even be able to get some pictures of that lake you mentioned.
Well, okay, so I really appreciate the offer, but also I'm worried about someone noticing that you're gone and then taking the opportunity to try and steal pictures.
He kind of thinks for a moment. I could have the flame on downstairs and not let anyone upstairs for a while. I know people are having their rooms and stuff, but Mine's down pretty far in the hallway. I'll just make sure that no one in Shady ends up going upstairs for a while. And I could take all these photos with me in my bag.
Oh, okay. Well, if you could take the photos with you, then.
Just not the ones being developed at the moment. Those guys stay in the room for now.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, well, at least it's a lot less risky. I don't want someone getting their photo stolen and then them doing the same thing that they were doing with photos before.
Yeah.
I can also stay here if you want, but I'd be happy to go take a few pictures of the lake and see what's going on over there. I haven't been out to that way so far.
If nothing else, we don't really have a good way to take additional pictures. I mean, I could try and take a scan of something and then move it over to my digipad, but that's not exactly a good long-term solution, considering that the only way I can really send those kinds of things is by either handing over my digipad or having some other digipad around that I can, transfer the files to. So it would still be a good idea to have you show up and take a bunch of pictures about it and send it back to Kinzo and all that, so that way people have more information no matter what. But I just don't want to leave all of this here in case it could be used against people.
Yeah, I've been paying the top dollar for making sure that my room's been kept up. Thanks to the income I've been getting from Kinzo, I've been able to make sure that everything's been going smoothly on my end here.
Okay, so yeah, if you could just take all the developed photos and leave the rest here to develop, and then have the barkeeper Flimon not let people near your room, then I don't see a reason why you can't come. What about you guys?
Kotora shakes his head. I don't see a reason for him to not to come either. I mean, his expertise is in the whole camera and taking pictures thing. Even if he doesn't know exactly what exactly is causing these things, he might be he might be helpful regardless.
But what are the developing photos of?
Let's see, the developing photos, I think I took a picture of the Electric Punch, which is the owner there. I took a picture of, I think I had to go back to the museum to take a picture of one more of the Guardians that I missed. And there's also, well, two of the Guardians, and then there was a picture of, trying to think, you see him tapping his fingers on the table, trying to kind of think as his, just trying to think. I think I took one more picture. Well, I took another picture of the Shoutmon after his incident happened, so I could see if there's anything going on with that. And I think I have a few other pictures from this building too, as well.
Okay, so nothing too dangerous, even if someone gets their hands on it.
I've been reporting on this for 2 weeks, so I've kind of have a whole scatter of photos, you know?
Okay, do you have anything else that you particularly want to show us?
Let's see, not at the moment. If I think of anything else important, I'll be sure to bring it up as we go on our way. But I do know I don't want to get too laid out. If we're going to go far to the east, we want to make sure we get there and back in time. We want to be outside during the whole time. You kind of see him as he's shuffling some of the pictures back in his bag.
Okay, so are we gonna? Guys, do we think we should go grab the rest of everyone and maybe start heading east?
Kotora nods.
Yeah.
And
Okay, let's go find everyone then.
As you guys are doing this, this is kind of a little bit of a previous scene, but the scene of Jace at the bar. Jace, you were at the bar. What kind of drink are you ordering?
Whiskey, dry.
Something-
Make it a double.
being strong, light. You see the Flamon going around as he comes over to you. Great. Hi, welcome to the Flaming Mane. I'm happy to get that drink. A fiery one, I see. I'll be happy to get those whiskeys for you. And you kind of
Yeah.
see him going, and you see him reaching around and underneath the table and pouring out a shot glass and pouring it full of the whiskey as ordered. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks. Your business is doing quite well, huh?
Oh yeah, I've been real lucky. I've had great business before, but with being with it being, well, less damage than some of the other ends, I've been having to steady business. Though the other businesses have been going pretty okay, but I like to think my end's the best. Lady luck and all that, you know?
Sure, luck. But, a lot of people here. I guess I can't be surprised with all the rain. Just out of curiosity, though, have you noticed any, strange folks in the last couple of weeks stop by? Things have to have been crazy.
Well, being a tourist town, we've got all kinds of crazy folk coming in our town. All kinds of from all different regions and the like, going all the way down to Kenzo or going north. A lot of the ice types, and I think a few of the forest. I think I had a few groups of the few bunch of total kind of folk coming in through the town. Let's see, as he kind of thinks.
How about somebody that might have come around the time of the rains and just recently left? Maybe have stayed here?
Well, there was I got a lot of business that week, but once those rains came, a bunch of people came indoors. I was having to, push back tables up to the wall just to make sure everyone had a safe place to stay for a while until those rains passed. Everyone else seemed to be pretty afraid of the rains, so I don't think anyone was looking pretty confident about it. Everyone was kind of scared in here.
Well, that's not what I
It was a
asked.
pretty shameful time.
Well, of course it's terrifying, but did anybody in particular show up, check in maybe a few days before the rain? Then leave maybe a couple days ago, somewhere between the last 2 weeks or so?
I think I've gotten a lot of customers since then. A lot of people coming in and out. He's trying to, as you kind of see, kind of scratching his chin a little bit, trying to think. Let me think. I don't think other than, as you see, I'm not really too sure if anyone's shady like coming in through here. In terms of before or after the rain, like I said, I'm a tourist stop. I get new people coming through by the hour.
All right. Well, better than nothing, I guess, huh?
Wake up.
Figured I'd ask.
This hamlet shall not fall.
Just interesting that you seem to benefit from it all.
I'm an inn that benefits from tourist attraction. I've actually been losing business in the past 2 weeks. A lot less people coming through the town. A lot less people staying. It's...
Hold the line. This
Ooh, double
hamlet
rate.
You're
shall
good, you can
not
answer that.
fall.
Matt in a hat.
Rated my stream with 6 viewers.
Matt in a hat and Dimnix. I hope I said that right. Welcome in. Thank you for those raids. How were your streams? I'm assuming that it's a double raid. But welcome in, everybody. You've come into our Scar campaign, one of our Digimon tabletop RPG campaigns here. We do all sorts of them. This one in particular is running with our custom Scar system that we've been developing for about 2 years now. It is in open playtest if you guys want to check it out on our Discord. But hope your guys is so you two were up to some tabletop yourselves. Hope it went well for you. And again, thank you so much for the sharing your communities with me. I really appreciate it. You were working on a custom homebrew setting together. Nice.
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and get back to the game here, but I will be in the chat with everyone. So thank you again so much for sharing your communities with me. I really appreciate it.
But yeah, as you see the Flamon, as he kind of says, he does seem genuinely sad when he talks about whenever you mention that his business seems to be benefiting. You do see him kind of like lose a little bit of the cheeriness. He says, honestly, it's not near as good as it usually is. Like I said, being a tourist town, we have people coming in and out all the time. But ever since those rains hit, people haven't been stopping by the inn, well, any inn at all, even the town. Some people have even been, well, reported going all the way around the town entirely. I think was some kind of virus or something that if they get too close to our town, they'll be hurt or something. So business has actually been, well, actually a little bit worse off, honestly.
Don't worry about it. You get used to that. The people will get over it as soon as the damage is undone. You guys get things fixed up around here. Well, sorry for taking
Okay.
up so much of your time. If
You
you
know, you
think
just
of
gotta give-
anything, If-
Yeah. And he kind of looks to you. Well, can I get your name?
I'm Jace.
Pleasure to meet you, Jason. Where you headed to?
Well, right now I'm just waiting for 2 of the kids to get back in here, and once we do, we're gonna go up to the room and meet with everybody else.
Oh yeah, you one of those? Are you one of those people taking the? Are you one of those? Are you one of those post guys that take the photos from him and bring it back to Kinzo?
You could say that.
Nice. He's had a few people come in from Kinzo. They take the photos and then they take them back to the city. I think they're doing some sort of investigation in the big city. Hopefully they'll come to help us soon. I'd like to get my business back on track.
On that front, have you had anybody new come by recently to pick up photos? Possibly when Kenzo wasn't around?
No thanks. There was just one. Let's see. The people who were coming into the town aren't people I usually recognize. They seem to say they're from some sort of data something hunting team or something. They said they were coming in and they just grab the photos that Bagheera gives them and then they head out. They don't even stop by to take a drink.
I see. So nobody in specific went up to his room when he wasn't here for photos, right?
I wouldn't be able to tell, and no one's asked about his room, but I have people coming in and up and down those stairs all day long. That's where all the rooms are. But no one said anything, no one's asked about his room outside of, well, him himself.
Alright. Yeah, I've taken up enough of your time.
Yeah, let me get you in, and yeah, I'm happy to help. And then he'll kind of, you see him quickly rush over to another person who seems to be kind of impatiently waiting for the next drink.
Jace got what he wanted.
And Asher and Haboku, what are you guys doing?
Well, since nobody's coming to the back door, I guess go in the front.
Yeah. As you guys go around the building, you go into the front. You see Jace talking with the Flamon over at the bar. As you do look around, you would be very clearly seeing a large door that goes to the back end of the building. You'd imagine that is where, just spatial recognition alone, you'd imagine that is where the kitchen / prep room would be. And seeing the Flamon very, very attentive at the bar, it would take an easy guess to assume that he was not back there to hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, Haboku. Let's go through the back. I feel like there's
Okay.
something suspicious back there. So they're just going to go through the door to the back.
It is behind the bar. There is a kind of like one of those. There's kind of a gap between the bar where you kind of see one of those like doors, or it's kind of like one of those like mini gates, kind of like one of those like child lock gates that kind of keeps it open and closed. That you would have to open in order to get to behind the bar in order to get to the room back there.
How tall is it?
It's about 4 feet, about 4 feet tall. It's just a small gate to keep people from accidentally wandering back.
Ah, dang it. Sure,
Full
fine,
my puppy doors.
You said it's 4 feet tall?
Yeah, a little gate. It's a gate enough to. Sorry. Yeah, about 4 feet tall. It's a gate to keep people from going back there.
I wouldn't
Actually, no, wait,
consider
it's a
that
bar.
a
Sorry.
I wouldn't consider that a small gate.
In Digimon world, people go really big. People get really big in the Digimon world, but no, it maybe like, yeah, about, I would say it's still, I'll keep it to 4. It's a tall bar.
I'm gonna guess you're kind of physical, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah. Okay, so probably can't try and finagle that. Keep a watch out. And Asher's gonna try and lean up on it and try to finagle the lock to get it where he wants, get it open.
Okay, should I have Haboku roll of perception?
Go ahead. Actually, Jace, give me a perception as well.
Oh,
Oh boy.
gracious.
It is a pretty busy, like, it is pretty busy, so it is a little bit hard to kind of see what's going on.
Guess I'll roll my stealth.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no.
As you try
I'm
to
solely-
finagle.
Okay, at least it's not a botch.
Oh, that was about. Oh, that was. Oh,
Yeah,
so yeah. As you guys, Jace, you would see, Asher homing in, and as you kind of talking with the Flamon, you see the Flamon kind of go back to serve some other customers, and you see Asher as well as Haboku, and you see Asher trying to get into the back of the behind the bar.
Jace is going to sigh. He's going to take the drink that he was going to sip on and just shoot it. Then he's going to stealthily try to walk up behind the two.
Does Haboku's one indicate anything?
You see Jace coming your direction.
Asher.
What? Almost got it. What?
Jace.
Asher's going to quickly make it look like he's trying to wave down the barkeep.
Jace just walks up and crosses his arms. Oh. Yeah, that's all I see only.
I mean,
The Flamon does not know.
I never
you guys,
did
by the
ask.
way.
I never did ask Serta if he wanted to allow that here.
Well, now's a good time.
What is it? What?
It's a card called a shiny card, where it just like
A
gives
shiny
some sort of
distraction.
trinket, a shiny distraction trinket, whatever.
Something shiny doesn't have to be worth anything. Could be worth a little bit, but you know, just something shiny as a distraction.
I'll say is it something you guys are supposed to have, like get, or is it something? Is it just distraction?
It's a random item in the world
I'm
that
not familiar.
exists. It's a card specifically to drop something in the world that is a shiny distraction for the players, more or less. That's it. It's a penny on the floor.
As you guys are essentially chilling in the sorry. So I'm just like really weird at what.
You could just say that you don't want to use the card.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't
At
wanna
least
use the
until
card.
not for now, because I don't really know what to do with that though. I need to read through the cards. Not at the moment. Maybe something shiny down the road a little bit. But I will say the Flamon is definitely busy with other people at the bar at the moment. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to you guys in any capacity, Jace, as you are looking down at Asher.
Alright, so,
What does the Lord of Evil have to do to get a drink in here?
Asher.
Oh, hi, Jace. What's up?
Asher.
Yes?
So, your investigation is done outside, right?
Yeah.
And you were going to stop by and inform me of your next move when? Or were you, just pressing on that door with your face for no reason?
I was trying to wait for a drink. See?
Come on,
And he
you
kind
two.
of waves his paw.
Upstairs, you two. Come on, let's go. Let's meet up with the rest of everybody.
No, there is definitely something suspicious, though.
Let's talk in private. Do you want to go outside or do you want to go up to where everybody else is?
It's back there, though.
Come on.
Fine.
Do you go outside or upstairs, Jace?
I'm taking them upstairs. It's time for the party to reconvene because we've all gathered information. Now it's time for us to share this information. More importantly, my son not letting him break into places. Blatantly break into places.
Blatantly.
Yeah, it would be less of a problem if he was actually good at it.
Exactly. Look,
At
he
least
learned
you
it
didn't
from
alert-
somebody.
At least you didn't alert everyone else. But Jace is more
He
aware and
will.
attuned to Asher's shenanigans.
He will get there. I just need more XP.
As you guys are beginning to go up at the same time, you kind of realize that Raguri and the rest of them are also coming down at the same time, and you end up kind of meeting halfway on the stairs.
Oh, hey guys.
Hi, Jace.
So, all right. Let's,
Hold on. He's still here. As he glares at the cameraman.
Why wouldn't he be?
he has been kind of staying here, Asher.
Let's go talk elsewhere.
Do you want to have a team meeting alone?
Yes.
Do you guys mind a team meeting alone?
Kotora rubs the back of his head. Do you mind stepping outside for a moment, Ragiri?
I'll just go back to my room. We are on the second floor after all. I'll go check on the photos that are developing at the moment. Feel free to use the end of the hallway. There's only one table over there and like 2 chairs. But if you guys want to have a private place over there, or you could always get a room from the inn. I know there's a few other places, I think there's a few other rooms in the inn that are available. I haven't seen anyone go in or out of any of certain rooms in a few days, so you can either get a room or you can talk in the hallway. But I'll get back to my room. I'll go check on the photos that are developing. I might need to change the water too. You see him as he begins to like go off talking about the process of film development to himself.
Kotora gives a thumbs up.
All right. Well, first one of these. Surprise. Team meetings. Yay.
Surprise.
You're adorable, Haboku. All right. Just to give you a heads up, I talked to the bartender a little bit. He doesn't recall anything in particular, unfortunately, but it's a little odd. Though I think
Just
Asher has
kidding.
something.
Are you doing this on the stairway, or are you?
I think we probably moved over to where the table is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my
Asher's
assumption.
Just
taking,
checking.
Asher's taking one of the chairs.
Okay, I'll say you all make. I just want to make sure, just give you guys a spatial awareness of where you guys are.
He's taking one of the chairs and looking absolutely imperious in the seat. He has claimed
You
this as
do.
his throne temporarily.
You may continue. I'm gonna go bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm still listening though.
Okay, so it's incredibly suspicious that this one particular building has been hit the least by those rains compared to all the others here. We did find a smell of vinegar outside that we were going to trace and figure out where it leads. But somebody wouldn't let us complete our investigation.
It's
Other-
because we need to meet up as a team, buddy.
I mean, the room we were just in smelled like vinegar.
Interesting.
I do want to.
Also, most of the inns have not been hit too hard because they have multiple stories and are made out of tougher materials.
Well, I can say this for sure. The bartender isn't aware of who has been up and down these stairs, so people may have been sneaking up and down for a while.
Yeah,
That-
luckily Rigiri did say that he hasn't noticed any of his pictures going missing.
That's
good.
good. Yeah, that's good.
I don't think the inns are exactly a safe place.
I'm not certain I
Um,
trust this guy.
Well, if he isn't trustworthy, then it's also probably best if we don't just let him go around and we keep him under watch.
Indeed.
Because if
That
he
is definitely a good idea.
Because if he is actually untrustworthy, then we'd be able to tell, because if he's around us all the time, we'd know who he's taking pictures of and if they're later getting affected.
Indeed.
My only worry is
Yeah.
that it was one of the people that already left town. And if it's one of the cameramen that left town, they're probably doing all this remotely.
Yeah, so there is something interesting Gary mentioned about that I wanted to talk to you guys about. One of the other cameramen actually went to the east, which is where the rains come So right now they've already gone to the east to apparently try and investigate what's going on. But this also means that they're over where all of this was starting from. Also, there is currently no correlation between when the rains hit and people being in the rain or out of the rain and later being affected by being glitched. So, the people getting glitched is non-correlative to the rains beyond when it started.
See, that was my worry when we heard about the farmer that lost his arm. My worry is that they're using the rain as a cover.
Yeah,
there-
because
It does seem like that.
Yeah,
So there-
because Rigiri showed us a picture of a Hookmon and a shell Digimon in their hut. He showed us before, after the rains, and then like 4 to 5 days ago, I think. And for some reason, it had deteriorated even more, and looked like the Hookmon and shell Digimon lost some parts of their body to the glitch.
Yeah. In the briefing, it did mention that there were some ongoing effects from the rains, apparently. Which, I mean, I guess that does make some sense, but also, keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it, as I said, it's just a cover. Because, the rain making certain things happen or somebody just trying to choose good timing is interesting. Though it does raise the question, if it is the pictures at the end of the day, like we saw at the farmer, and it's correlation there, why didn't they target the cameraman? You'd think he would be a major target.
Well, yes. However, they could also have found out because he started working with the with Kinzo really early on. So there's that, and also they might eventually try and go after all of his pictures because he's been going around taking pictures of things. So it is definitely weird that he hasn't been targeted, but
Mm. the pictures might have to have been taken a certain way for whatever method they're doing to do this, to do what it is that they're doing. Like, we don't actually know how they're doing this to begin with.
No, but we should consider him both suspicious and a possible target, so...
Yes. That is,
'Cause-
that is for the best and understandable. We were actually thinking of having him come with us. We were thinking of perhaps heading to the east to investigate the camera of where the rain is coming from, because that seems to be our best lead at the moment.
It's not a bad plan. We don't want to rush it, though. It's kind of dumb to be bringing somebody who might be a target with us, but it would be dangerous for us to leave him behind if he's helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing to consider is that the only real way that I can get information to other people about it is with taking personal scans of it and then moving it to my digipad, and then I can only either physically hand off my digipad and have someone else look through it, or have some sort of connection to a different digipad in order to pass it along. So in order to give the information, I'd have to actually send back my entire digipad or physically go and visit Kinzo. If he comes with, he can take photos and then develop them and send them along while we're still here and investigating.
Well, there's
Yeah.
also note taking, but yeah, point. So, sounds like the plan is, if everybody's in agreement, we all go east and we bring him with for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, exploring.
Both to keep him safe and to make sure that he isn't actually in on it this entire time.
Okay, sounds good.
This does
But what-
mean that we have one person with him at all times.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Haboku.
I was gonna ask her the scent into vinegar, or was it on the were we getting it from the first floor, or was it just coming from the second floor?
Just from the second. The second, and then what seemed to be the base of the building. I will say, as you did pass by Ragiri's room, you would have that familiar scent of vinegar coming from their room as well, as you just passed by the door. And it's even slightly lingering in the hallway itself.
All right.
Were we able to like piece together that it was coming from another part of the building if it was?
Yeah, I think what he's saying is that it was definitely coming from the second floor and you smelt it when you're up here, but when you guys were at the base of the building, you smelt it outside. Coming from inside and probably somewhere around the back.
Ah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 sources.
Either that or Ragiri is just dumping the stuff outside his window.
Which is a question we should probably ask, because if not, it might actually be worth having somebody do a little bit better of a sneaking job. Looks at Asher.
Asher
And
just
get-
glares.
And get back there. Just to take a peek. Do you guys have thoughts?
I mean, I think we should ask him.
We
Out of
said
character, Haboku has 0 subterfuge, so.
He's got the eyes spread slightly apart.
Yeah. Kotora is rubbing his chin. Well, I mean, trying to see if he's doing anything on tour while we're not looking will not be a bad idea, but that depends on whether we actually can.
Yeah, it's just interesting that there might be a smell in the back.
It is weird. It didn't seem like it was coming from the trash, though.
I could just go and try and ask him questions. I'm
Anna?
good at asking people questions.
You are. I'll go with you though.
All right, you two
I
down.
was-
Should we
I was-
go?
I was
Go ahead.
fighters for some reason.
Oh, the memories. The rest of us, do we want to go around back and take a look at the back door, see if we see any other signs of anything interesting?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let you
Arcus.
explore, huh?
Arcus looks like he's about to run off,
Arcus.
but he's like frozen in place again, like vibrating.
All right. You take care of him. I got these three, I guess. Kotora, are you good at reading people at all?
I'd say kinda. I'm not like perfect at reading faces, but I'm not completely oblivious, I would say.
All right. It's probably better than me. I don't like people. I'll go follow them. We'll go out back, we'll look at things, then meet us out back maybe, and then we'll decide what to do from there, you two, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids, let's go out back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me allowing the children to explore.
Really, nothing could go wrong.
Indeed.
You would, yeah, I will say you would see Wagiri's room very much has a closed door at the moment. So whichever one you want to take first.
I would like to BRB really quickly, so maybe the questioning can begin.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Jace, don't split the party. Also, Jace, let's split the party. I'm not wrong.
Hee hee hoo hoo.
Who's gonna go get Wagiri? Who's gonna knock on the door?
I mean, Rivwell.
Yeah, but Kotora is right behind him.
You kind of hear them say, "Just 1 second, 1 second, 1 second," and they'll go. And then you kind of hear after some shuffling, and you see them open up the door.
Hi, Rigary.
Finished? Hi, you finished up your meeting?
A little bit, yeah. I wanted to ask you more questions, though.
Perfect. And you see him come out and then step out into the hallway and then close the door. Everyone to go to the ever so famous meeting room, he says, kind of bowing and gesturing towards the one single table at the end of the hallway.
Oh, I wanted to ask you questions about your pictures.
Certainly. Like I said, I'd be happy. And he kind of gestures over. Yeah, come over here. We'll talk in private over at the end of the hallway here. Kind of looks
okay.
confused. As he was just kind of announcing the meeting room, he was making a joke about the meeting room at the end of the hallway. He's just like, oh yeah, the meeting room. And you kind of see him hop up on the table at the end of the hallway. Hop up on the chair. Hop on the chair, not the table. Hop up on the chair.
Okay, so you mentioned before a lot about how you needed to develop pictures, right?
Yeah. I have some developing there right now.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, it's a really long process. Well, kind of an extensive process. How much do you know about chemicals?
Like a little bit. I mean, I don't know a ton about chemicals in particular. That's not exactly where a lot of my focus lies. He only has one dot in science.
You seem the knowledgeable type, so and begins to kind of explain a little bit. Well, you see, first you gotta take a photo, but the photo actually isn't really the photo. Well, the photo has the information on the photo, but then you gotta develop it, and then you have to take it back to the room. And he kind of begins to describe the process. And so you take the photo, and then you have to develop it. That's what we call. And then we have the 1 second. searching. Okay. He says, yeah. So I take these photos, and after I get them, I get this photo here, and he pulls out one of the already done photos, and see, you have to dip it in some liquid for a little bit, and that keeps it. And he kind of begins to explain the process of it. It usually takes a few days, but once it's done, the photo comes out nice and clear. But you got to keep it in a dark room for the photo to develop.
So does he have some of the chemical out that he was showing?
He doesn't have the chemical in it. Doesn't He didn't take the chemical out of the room. He says, yeah. So it's this chemical, and you dip the photo in the chemical a few times, which kind of helps the picture come to light. And then you hang it up to make sure none of the liquid ends up getting anywhere else or over the room. So you kind of hang it above this little bin I have here. I got this nice little bin that I keep the photo liquid in, and then I keep the photos right above it, so it drains off into the bucket.
Oh, are you able to reuse it at all?
You can reuse it a little bit, only so much though, as after you keep putting the photos in the bucket enough times, then you kind of want to recycle that a little bit and kind of get some new liquids. I have a lot of it in store though. All you gotta do is just mix a few salts and the like in a tub of water, and then it makes that. And he kind of tries to find the right word. It's to be easy, it's just like saying chemicals, but you just put the salts in the water, and then it makes the photo solution.
Okay. How much can you reuse it then? Are you only able to use it for one more? Do you have to make a bunch of new stuff and then mix it in with the old stuff, or?
I like to make sure my photos are as crisp as possible, so I like to change out the water every few days to make sure that none of the old photo gunk gets on the new photos.
Oh, what do you do with all the old stuff?
I think, is he kind of thinks, well, it is water after all, so sometimes I just kind of, pour it outside. It's safer. He kind of looks a little bit, kind of like sheepish a little bit. It's perfectly safe for the general public, but it's kind of smells a lot, so I try to get it where no one's actually going to be. And you kind of see him kind of scratching the back of his head a little bit. It's kind of has a strong vinegar smell, so I try to dump it outside so I don't end up keeping it inside for too long. Or else people will start complaining that the hallway smells like vinegar.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So
I'd be happy to.
about how long do you actually have to leave it in the dark?
Yeah, thanks. A few days. After a few days, the picture begins to come to life.
Intriguing.
It's kind of hard to be a reporter whenever all your photos take a few days after the story. You don't realize what kind of pain it is to try to write a story and not have a photo for it until a few days after.
Yeah, that seems kind of annoying.
I can imagine.
I wonder if there's a way to make it so that way it speeds up faster.
Hmm.
I might try some new salt solutions sometime. I've always been one to explore and experiment, but no solutions yet have given me any faster results than what I've already got.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Be me hearing all this, going, man, he's using the wrong chemicals.
Well,
Days.
well, I suppose there might be something out there. You can always try something new with your craft, like I always try something new with my cooking.
I'm sure your cooking doesn't smell all like vinegar 24/7. I've gotten used to the smell, but it's sensitive to some people's noses.
I have to use vinegar sometimes with Jez. Pretty much.
Okay, but thanks for actually explaining to me, because I got really interested in it, because you talked about it a lot, so I didn't know what it was, so I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, I love talking about photography. Being a reporter is one of the best things I can do.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't do anything with trying to figure out a better way for you to do this.
I can only imagine that how frustrated you must be with how passionate you are about this. That some people out there might be using this stuff for evil.
Yeah, people use all kinds of stuff. I've seen people, well, beat each other over the head with ladles before. That doesn't change the passion of cooking any.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm ready to head out over east whenever you're ready.
Okay. So you already packed up all the pictures?
I got the pictures that I had earlier. Although I'm not going to stop developing the ones. I wouldn't want to break any of the sequence.
Oh no.
But
I just meant all the other pictures.
I got the pictures that I already developed. Like I said, I've been developing pictures nonstop ever since this whole thing started. I got some in the process, some are 1 day, 2 day, 3 day old. And I got the ones that are already developed, and I've already gotten them in that bag I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Mm.
You should
I can go
probably talk to the innkeeper about the whole watching your room and making sure people don't go in it.
Yeah, we have to with how things are. We have to be absolutely sure that those things aren't going to like be stolen under our noses.
Oh yeah, you guys are real smart. I'll make sure to mention that to him. He seems to be a real good buddy of mine. Well, ever since I started staying here. I like to give him a little bit extra because I know that my room's been smelling like vinegar and making the whole hallway kind of smell like vinegar sometimes. So I've been paying him extra for the room to make sure that I, well, end up being nice to him, you know?
Oh yeah, that's nice to do.
Indeed.
Oh, when you smell up an entire hallway with your passion project, you gotta at least give something to the owner, you know? So I make sure he's paid really well for it.
Yeah, you should probably go talk to him to let him know.
Yeah, and as
Talk to him on the way out.
yeah, and as soon as we're done with our investigation here, I think we'll be ready to head out. We did agree that we will go. This is our most likely lead.
Yeah, you guys are real smart. I'm sure you guys will figure it out in no time. You guys seem really, really smart, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you got chosen for the investigation team. You too, Riv, especially you, Riv. You seem like you really know a lot of stuff about a lot of things.
Well, before all this, I used to be a researcher.
Researcher. You gonna see him, his eyes kind of light up a little bit. Oh, cool. I've talked to a few researchers. Like I said, I've been a reporter for a very long time now. So I've talked to a few different researchers. Though they seem kind of, after they get whatever they want from me, they don't really seem to talk around or stick around too much after.
Yeah,
I like to ask a lot of
sometimes people get really focused on something that they're working on, and then they focus on only that instead of asking more questions. But I think you should always probably ask more questions, because you can never really know when information that you actually find can end up being really useful later.
I think if there's anyone that's going to figure out this case, it's going to be you, Riv.
Oh well, that's nice. But I'm part of a team, so you should probably credit my team instead of me.
Well, you seem to be the leader of the team, but everyone's doing their part.
Now, if anyone's a leader, it's Jace.
He does seem to be the oldest among us, so.
I don't even know how old canonically Jace is.
Too old.
Nope, but he definitely acts way older, so.
Jace is canonically in his 50s.
It's been a moment.
He raised Asher after all. Asher's an adult.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, too old.
Ow. I think. Jace is outside just following the kids and then suddenly has that shiver of, ow, why did that hurt? Why didn't somebody just stab me in the chest?
To be fair, the other part of that is too old for this shit, but
Yeah.
Oh, honey, you can never escape it.
Speaking of Jace, what are you guys doing? I will say, Wagiri will happily follow you guys over to the bar as you guys are going to quickly stop by the Flamon on the way down. But what is Jace, Asher, and Arcus, I think? That's the other team.
And Haboku.
And Haboku. What are you four doing?
Haboku is most likely just sniffing around now and trying to narrow down the scent again.
As you were able to quickly do it. You were very familiar with your very keen smell. You were extremely familiar with where it was when you left off, and you go over to where the side of the building was where it was strongest, and you can kind of see. And now that you've kind of been on the inside and now on the outside, you do see a little bit north. You kind of see that window where everyone keeps going to have that meeting that you were sitting at earlier, and then right below that window seems to be where that smell seems to be coming from strongest at the base.
Yeah, around here.
Over there?
Jace
Okay.
looked up. Go on, Arcus, explore away.
And whee!
I just imagine Arcus just sipping along.
Jace is gonna crouch down next to Asher and be like, "So Asher, remind me before we leave here to buy a lock and show you how to pick it.
Okay.
I know this is dangerous, but he shrugs. You're an adult. You can make stupid decisions. I can't protect you forever, right?"
Right?
See, if you just as a side note, if you get your entire party involved and they all decide to do it, then it's probably the right thing to do. If people are hesitant to do it, it's probably the wrong thing to do. And if it happens to be the wrong thing to do and you all thought it was the right thing to do, well, at least then everybody has the excuse of nobody's fallen alone.
Okay.
It's my son. Wraps an arm around him, gives him a pat, that half dad hug thing, stands back up. All right, I guess while Arcus explores, let's see if he finds anything, and we'll wait for the other two to see if they have anything. There's a window right up there, though.
Right, Jen.
And Arcus investigation.
As you're investigating, you do go around and you're kind of wandering around the building, kind of hitting up various. As you kind of look to the left and right, you see basically what looks to be a long alleyway behind the building. A few key dumpsters seem to be lining up against the back, as there does seem to be a few of them, but it's very far and spread. It can be pretty obvious that the dumpsters are being shared by multiple buildings. You do kind of catch a very much a scent of old food that seems to be coming from the dumpsters. You're not entirely sure of the cleaning that probably goes on back here, but it does seem to be pretty well kept, though definitely could use some maintenance as you're going around. You would also see the door in the back of the building that you currently are talking about, the Flaming Mane. But you also see the back doors of a few different buildings, and there even seems to be, as you're making your way around back, you even see you even see another Digimon come out of one of the buildings, put some trash in one of the dumpsters, and then go back in the building.
This is interesting.
What you got, Arcus?
He's gonna relay all the information he just got.
TLDR, somebody's coming from the back door to dump things in the dumpster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone from
And the
another
dumpsters are
building,
shared.
not. Yeah, the dumpsters are shared, and there seems to be a Digimon that came out from one of the buildings along the strip and then put some stuff in the dumpster and then went back in.
And
Where to next? As he's looking around.
you done exploring?
Hmm?
Y'all done? Done with this area?
as he's now looking for another area to potentially explore.
Asher and Haboku, either of you got anything you want to point out or look at specifically?
No, I still want to go look inside the inn.
Well, let's wait for the other two first, and then we can look inside the inn together,
Well,
okay?
I guess we could go look at the other inns around here and see if they act, because this is definitely a lot less damage than others.
Yep. Riv did mention that the other inns are apparently less damaged, so could go verify that.
We could, but we should do so after you two get out there. Teamwork. Though Riv might go on for a little while, so we could just go to the bar and wait for them if you guys want. Do you really want to drink, Asher?
Not really.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay,
Should we go inside and wait?
Okay. And Arcus is rushing back inside.
Well, okay.
As you
back
do that,
inside we go.
Arcus, you see the rest of the group begin to come out of the bar after just a quick conversation with the Flamon mentioning to watch anyone in particular going upstairs and to keep a track of that, but otherwise just be more careful about who's being lent rooms. But as the owner here shows that everyone that gets a room here, he likes to give a good old once-over to. But the rest of you guys would essentially be heading out of the inn the same time that Arcus and the rest of you guys are coming out. And then, so you'd end up kind of running into each other a little bit on the front porch of the inn. You also would see Wagiri in tow with everyone else, with a small bag over his
Oh, hey. And then he's gonna look. And then he's gonna look back towards where he came from, where Jace would have been.
Jace ain't running after, he walking.
Huh? Where'd he go? Where'd Jace go?
Hi, Arcus, are you ready to go on an adventure?
Adventure? Where?
To the east. We're going to the east, I think. I think that's where everyone was going to go. I think you guys want to take some pictures of the water there. Riv's over here leading the way. Well, at least leading this.
Okay.
Yeah, Riv got done with the question that he had.
Yeah, I wanted to know how the whole photos got developed, and then he explained all the whole process with it, and that the chemical does smell like vinegar, and that he kind of does dump it outside a bit.
It kind of looks. Just don't go telling everyone that. I mean, I would like to go all the way out of town to dump it in a safer location. Well, not really safer location, but a different location. But I don't have much time, you know?
Jace casually walking around the corner. Yeah, but sometimes doing things the right way is the best idea instead of just dumping it out the back window.
We got Digimon losing limbs here. I don't have time to go all the way out of town to dump some water here and then.
It smells really bad back there.
You kind of see kind of looking a little bit embarrassed by that.
Out of
Hope the
character.
smell would dissipate.
Out of character, some of the chemicals used in processing photos are actually extremely hazardous and damaging to the environment. So please do not, out of character to the audience, ever dump camera stuff just out a back window. It is hazardous. just to put that out there, it is extremely hazardous. There's a reason why certain chemicals you have to wear plastic gloves with and dispose of immediately.
Noted.
PSA, do not reattempt.
Do not attempt. Do not take ttrpg stuff as actual advice.
I felt the need to say that because this guy's just dumping what is probably very corrosive, and based on the fact it takes days to actually develop instead of hours, photos, that means he's using the old stuff, and the old stuff had like silver nitrate and other very bad chemicals in it.
Cool.
Yeah, we are at like steampunk levels of develop with most things. So
Yeah.
It's worth noting.
Yeah,
You're
so-
about at steampunk levels, but not everyone. Obviously, some people are more advanced than others. You have a very wide range of technology advancements, but the highest advancement is basically like steampunk with a little bit of digidata to go with it, a little bit of computer to go with it, but mostly steampunk.
Magi tech. Either
Yeah.
rate, Asher put out a good idea if y'all want to hear it.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I'd love to hear it.
Puts a hand on Asher's head. Go on, buddy.
I think we should actually go check some of the other buildings in town, just to really make sure that things are. Just to verify a few different things about the state of them and such.
oh, which one
Okay.
should we go into first?
Oh yeah, I'm friends with everyone in town. I can tell each one of their names by hand.
Well, specifically, I think we're going to go by the inns first. If that sounds good to everybody?
Sounds good
Okay.
to me.
What's the closest inn then?
Let's see, that would be the Ice on the Rocks. It's supposed to be kind of like a competitive thing, with the flaming mane and all. Kind of a yin-yang kind of deal. It's just a few buildings up north.
Well, lead the way. I'll let y'all kids take things from here. I'll be in back, just keeping an eye on y'all.
Hey. And Arcus is going to run off, but more at his half speed.
Arcus,
Huh?
stay with the group, buddy.
But I was moving slower.
You can run around us in circles again.
Okay. And he does that again.
Asher, do you remember when you were a puppy and you get really, really excited and you try to run around me, but you wouldn't exactly give me enough berth and you just trip over my tail repeatedly?
Yeah, I kept trying to tie it up around your neck.
And this is why I waited to teach you how to make a slip knot.
Yeah.
Not like you can do that with my tail, but boy, pats, and then says nothing else, just starts walking.
As you make your way north, you pass by a few different buildings until you hit what is, you see ice on the rocks. You see a, kind of like it looks like a glass that has been made out of ice. And inside you see a few extra solid ice cubes with a drink and a little, like, straw in it. And it just says, ice on the rocks.
Um,
You
I
see
don't
one or
get
two
it.
people kind of come in and out of it. But you definitely did find the building.
Were you gonna say something there, Tal?
Oh no, it was just Riv looking at that and going, "Oh, I don't get it."
Jason's just going
Not
to
much
motion.
more complicated than that.
Jason's just going to motion to the three explorers. Be like, all right, Arcus, Asher, Haboku, have that.
As you do look inside, you do realize that there does seem to be the windows facing out into the street do seem to have a little bit of those like glitchy particles that seem to be affecting the windows itself. It is almost a little bit eerie to see, as it's normally you can see through windows, but in this case it almost seems like the pixelation is kind of distorting whatever image is on the other side, or whatever is through the window. But the door seems fine.
None of the windows on the first inn were like this, right?
Not on the first inn, no.
What about the top of this inn?
It also seems to have that same kind of glitchiness that was prevalent in the other inn as well, where you see kind of that top floor with most top floors seem to having that almost like the erosion looking, almost pixelated erosion look to it.
Does this one look worse off than the other one?
On the top floor, it doesn't, and from at least from the top, it doesn't seem any worse or better than the rest. However, like I said, you do see the windows themselves seeming glitchy, at least from the outside. But as the rest of you guys would step inside, or at least I think Arcus and them would step inside. You would see a few other people inside the Digimon, a few of the Digimon inside the bar. Definitely less than what was in the other inn, though the Digimon in here seem to be more of a cold type versus just a more general nature. It seems the theming of the inn keeps the customers here pretty happy, as you can almost feel a coolness about the air. It's almost like the refrigerator, or it's almost like the temperature is vastly lower in this building than anywhere else. And Magiri would head in as well, as you would see a bartender at the end, though a less elegant bar than the one you saw in the other building, but there seems to be an Icemon that seems to be running around with several drinks back and forth. Though the bar is more open, so you do see him actually stepping out into the main area a lot more often. As he does wave over to you guys, just almost like a brief wave, just to acknowledge you guys are coming in.
Rube's gonna blink a little bit and go, "Oh, hey, this place feels nice."
Almost feels like home, actually.
Yeah.
Can Haboku pick up any strange scents? And
The air itself being as cold it is doesn't transport as many scents around the building. Though you do pick up the sense of a few foods, though no hot food, oddly enough, or pretty much as expected. All the food here seems to be chilled in some way or some cold. You do see a various delegates of sugary ice cream, as well as some cold yogurt, and even a few snow cones that seem to be treaded around the tables. As you see these like little metal rings on the tables, and a few of those metal rings have snow cones on them. And you can hear the faint sound of some kind of machine that sounds to be grinding something.
Well, I guess this
Haboku
one
is
seems to be okay. If
Did you guys want to sniff around the outside of the building?
Haboku is resisting the urge to lick something and end up having his tongue talks to it.
Did you actually get your tongue stuck on something?
Roll for temptation.
Roll for temptation.
Self-imposed will saves.
What would that be?
You can
Probably
also
your
just
willpower.
order something. You all at a establishment of food and drinks. You can also just order food as well.
No.
You see the pillars of the building seem to be made of straight up icicles. Like a solid pillar of ice.
Yeah, I'm gonna accept that as a failure. I'll live with the consequences here for the joke. Okay.
You feel tempted to lick the center of the. You feel tempted to lick one of the support beams for this building, as it seems to be encased in a beautifully crystalled ice.
He gives in
Uh.
and approaches it. Tongue ready.
The rest of you guys see Haboku sniffing at what looks to be an ice pillar in the room.
Asher just somehow has popcorn and is munching on it as he watches.
Jace
Haboku,
glances
did you
up.
find something?
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Hyper focus mode.
Just as if no one else is going to stop, then you all see Haboku kind of sniffing and then trying to lick the ice cube, as it does kind of have a almost absence of scent to it. It, curious enough, makes him want to taste it, and you see Haboku get their cold muzzle snout slightly stuck to the pole in the middle of the room.
Oh no.
Kotora just whatchamacallit smacks his forehead.
Kotor, could you go heat him up a little bit, maybe?
Jace just
I-
crosses his arms.
I could, but maybe I should ask first because ask
It
first
looks
because
tasty.
that might be the destruction property.
Go ask the bartender.
Yeah. Kotra's gonna go ask the bartender if he could if he could heat up one of the pillars over there because a little bit of one of the pillars over there because his friend got his tongue stuck on it.
You're gonna see the Iceman kind of blink at you a few times. And he kind of looks, well, usually, darling, he kind of looks, yeah, if you're, oh, he kind of looks he looks over at you and then Haboku and then you, Haboku. This isn't the first person that's gotten their tongue stuck to one of those poles, darling. You'll be fine. If you can get them free, by all means. That pillar's just there for mostly, well, it's wood on the inside. The icicle's just for decoration on the outside. I'll have to freeze some ice on it after.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't destroying anything that would
Do you need me to get some hot water from the back, darling?
No, I can do it myself. Thank you. No. Yeah.
Well, I'll make sure you get them right as rain. And if you need any help, feel free to come over here, and I'll be happy to get you guys served up.
Kotra smiles and gives a thumbs up. Then he heads to Haboku and just using his own heat that he just emanates from his body, he's just getting close to Haboku and like just getting his paw near his tongue so that it would just begin heating up a little.
You do that, and you're able to melt the ice enough to where it was. You do feel a little bit of a tinge of pain, Haboku, but after a bit of uncomfortableness and a little bit of very kind of sweat that kind of goes around around your muzzle, out a little bit later, and your tongue will be freed from the pillar.
There?
There you go.
So what did we learn, Haboku?
Don't lick pillar.
Don't lick ice pillar, specifically.
I would suggest
Ye-
not licking things you don't know what they are.
Yeah, licking things kind of seems like a bad idea.
Indeed.
Yeah, especially ice.
As Dart, Jet, and Vector just sneeze on a Saturday.
Nova sneezing as well.
Well, now that we got that over, I could tell an embarrassing story about one time that Asher did something, but he'll kill me if I tell that one.
Don't you have to tell embarrassing stories about him all the time?
Oh yeah, but this one's really bad.
Asher squints at Jace.
Jace smiles. I'll save it for when he does something that I really dislike. Just ask for the ice pillar story.
Now,
You know, I try to behave, and he threatens me like this, and I don't behave, and he threatens me like this. Might as well just have the fun and not behave.
Jace just picks up Ash and goes, "Love you, buddy."
Grumbles.
Love you, buddy.
So how does this establishment look in you guys' assessment? Does it look any worse than the other?
As you do look around the establishment, you do see a few more things that seem to be affected. As more so, you can see people are clearly avoiding certain areas. And as you're kind of looking around the areas, you see what looks to be like a table that seems to be kind of having that almost pixelated look to it, as well, especially by the windows itself. You also see a chair or so that seems to be it seems to be almost random in here, but it's like little tiny, like not really tiny, but little tiny areas where it's been affected inside. And it clearly is stopping people from even going around that direction. So you can kind of see the most of the restaurant, or most of the patrons in the restaurant seem to be kind of almost in little groups inside that seem to be avoiding those specific areas.
Hmm.
Well, it's a bit more internally affected.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
There wasn't much internal corruption inside of the what was the initial hotel called?
Flaming Mane.
Flaming Mane.
Flaming Mane.
Explains why they're more busy. It's probably better off and more whole inside.
Indeed.
If we see this in the other ones, then that's a hint.
Yeah, we should probably check a few more just to make sure that this isn't just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, if our friendly guide wouldn't mind.
Oh, certainly. I was always like, he kind of looks around. Yeah, it's getting kind of bad in here. You see him kind of holding his jacket a little bit more closely to him as he kind of has like a chill about him. I usually prefer warmer climates, but it is really chilly in here.
Kotora is gonna come closer to Giri. Just stay close to me if you feel too cold.
You got it, and then he kind of gets a little bit closer. You have a nice warm aura about you.
Kotora nods and smiles.
Well, let's get on out of here. I'll take you over to the Shell Shack. It's run by, and then he kind of gestures shoulder. It's run by a shellman named Sheru. Really awesome guy.
Oh, is that the guy from the photo?
Oh no, this one's a different guy. The other guy's more of a turtle. He's more of like a well, I'll show you to him, and he'll take you over, and he'll take you over to the west side of the town where the river lies. And there seems to be a small establishment. It looks like it is. It's called the Shell Shack, and you see what looks to be a large, almost conch shell-looking thing with a crab that's kind of chilling in it, and it seems to be drinking some sort of drink. Though the sign does look partially eroded from the pixel kind of texture, it does seem to be slightly eroded. So all it looks like, all you can read is just shack.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to just call your store. Huh? Or inn.
I've seen weirder. As long as it's not a love shack, we're okay.
I didn't really call it a shell shack. I guess the sign got partly eaten.
Oh, that makes sense. I think.
Well, outside damage seems on par. Let's see if inside there's more damage.
You go inside, and the outside doesn't seem to be damaged. Outside of just normal, like the top of the roof, obviously seems to be a little bit more. It seems to be pixelated about the same as everyone else, but the outside looks perfectly fine. Though, as you go inside, you see what looks to be about even less people than the other building, as without having the theme of without obviously the ice or the ice Digimon are more prevalent here due to the ice territory being directly north. This one seems to be more themed around like the ferry and the travel and the river, and there seems to be a lot less people in here. Actually, down to no more than just about 2 different groups of Digimon that seem to be very comfortable here, but it's a very more somber mood as you go inside and you see what looks to be a very open area kind of in. It helps the Shellmon be able to get around a little bit easier. But as you see the Shellmon kind of crawling around, providing drinks to people, you do see on the back, they do seem to have what would normally be a really beautiful shell. They seem to have something covering over the shell, like some sort of fabric or some kind of coat like that seems to be covering over their shell as they seem to be going around. Though without being little people around, him noticing you would immediately go up and be like, "Oh, hi, welcome. Oh, you must be here for more food and drink. Please come in and have some food." He seems very excited to have you guys in here.
Actually, just Jace just kind of does that. I don't really want this because can you just bring me a double whiskey?
You got it. Happy to help. And then you see him kind of goes back a little bit, and in about a few seconds later, he'll kind of come back with a drink. Here you go.
Well, thank you. We'll let you know if we need anything else.
I'm happy to have your business.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
How much was that, by the way?
Just 2 bits, and I'll let you drink as much as you want tonight, or 1 bit and he'll pay for the drink right now.
I'll just give him a bite and be like, "It's fine. Keep the change. Don't mind us."
Oh, thank you very much. Business has been a little bit hectic definitely the opposite of hectic, but it's been real. Kind of looks around. I'm happy to help you. If you need anything, feel free to ask. I'll bring food for everyone if you need it.
We'll let you know. Thank you.
You gotta see him go as he goes back and can I get anything? Can I get anything for the rest of you guys?
Right now we're just looking around, but we'll let you know.
You got it. And he kind of gives you all a thumbs up as he begins to go around and check the other tables.
Maybe we should actually order something once we're done looking around here. Kind of feel bad for this guy.
I'm just hoping that other inns aren't this bad because otherwise you guys are gonna have to carry me somewhere. He'll take the double shot.
You kind of see Magiri kind of lean over to you, Rev, and say, I actually talked to him not too long ago. It seems whatever happened here took his shell off of him. He actually, his whole entire shell's been, well, pixelated. People haven't been coming around here ever since then. They're afraid they're going to catch something from him.
Oh,
That's sad.
that's awful.
You know, unfortunate part about being physically visible. You either cover it up or people judge you.
And then people judge you for covering it up.
Yeah, pretty much. You get used to it, though.
Head tilt.
Yeah, just don't say anything about his shell. It's really kind of sad to look at, but well, you guys are here to investigate, and I'm sure you'll figure it out and get his shell back.
Hopefully, yes. That's what we're here for. So yeah, we're going to be looking. You said that the outside doesn't look that damaged except for the sign. So now we're looking inside to see if there's like anything damaged inside, or if it's just a shaman.
It looks like to just mostly just be the Shellmon. Most of the buildings seem as regular as you would imagine. Nothing out of the ordinary the way you'd regularly expect. The Shellmon seems to have taken whatever is the issue. The Shellmon seems to have the brunt of whatever is going on.
Huh. Not a lot of damage outside or inside, and it's just the owner that got something taken from him. Hmm. Do you guys think that maybe the rain didn't hit this part of the town that much?
Is this on the north or south side?
This is over
Zerda?
in the west. This is about Middle West.
Probably should have been hit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean with the back half of it, but definitely should have been hit.
Doesn't make sense the amount of the amount of damage. Then I think the building should be damaged even more if the others if the other
Should we ask if somebody took a picture of him?
Oh, definitely.
yes.
Probably. Don't make me. I'll feel inclined to order another thing.
I can go.
Okay. I can handle my liquor, but only so much, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kotora is going to approach the shaman.
He seems very, very, very eager to talk and help.
Riv will
Hey,
follow behind him, but he's gonna let Kotora talk.
Yeah.
hey, welcome to the Shell Shack. I know it only says shack out there, but it's Shell Shack.
Yeah, we figure Rigiri told us that. Do you mind if I ask you some questions, sir?
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah.
He kind of looks around. If business was busier, I'd have to say no, but at the moment, I'd be happy to, especially with your friend providing such a generous tip for the bar.
Code or not. Yeah, we're from the Data Anomaly Hunters, and we're here to investigate basically what's happened to the city.
His
And
eyes light up. Oh yes, I think I've heard of you. You must have come from Kins. It's such a pleasure to have you guys here. I'm sure you guys will figure it out.
we're hoping to do so, and that's partly what I want to ask you. Um, has Do you remember if there's anybody that has taken a photo of you recently, like in the past 2 weeks from when the rain came by?
Yeah, two people. And he kind of looks over. Yeah, but Gary was one of them, and then the Gamamon Kawa came over. They were both trying to help and see what's going on.
Photo or not? Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. Also, I would like to ask you, was when the rain came by on this area, did it did it did it hit your shack all that much?
Yeah, I lost a bit of my sign up there, and of course the top of my building's been a little bit in shambles. But outside of that, because I'm on the west side of town, I was able to get indoors pretty fast.
I
So
see.
it didn't affect too much on the inside, but the outside of the building's a little bit in shambles, but without the income I haven't been able to fix it up as much as some of the others.
I see. Okay, that actually kind of tracks. So it is mainly the roof and the sign that got hit. That's why there's not much. There's no, that's why there's not much damage inside. No, that does make sense. Hmm. Well, thank you for that. Is there anybody else that has any questions for him? He's beckoning to the group.
Hmm. He's gonna Arcus is gonna whisper to Kotora. Ask him if he lost his shell like a little after the 2 weeks or more recently.
Oh, Kotora nods. Good question. Okay, Mister. This might be a bit of a personal question, but I did notice that you have a bit of a problem yourself back there, and I did wanted to ask you, when did it happen?
He kind of looks a little bit. Yeah, something must have happened to my shell. It was about a week ago whenever it happened. I've been without a shell for a week, and word got around town that I haven't been, having my shell, and people have been afraid to stop by here lately. It's been taking business real hard. Only the closest of my friends have been sticking by us in the inn.
And that was before you photos were taken from you, right?
Yeah, it was about it. They came by investigating the shack, and a few days after the rain came, they came to look over at the shack, and I let them in, take pictures of the shack and everything. They got a picture of what's going on around here. They took a picture with me and them. And then a few days later, I ended up getting, the shell just seemed to kind of vanish on me. It was pretty scary when I woke up, but I've been trying to keep business going. I haven't really been able to have any custom fitted, cloak, if you will. I haven't been able to get a new shell since.
Kotora nuts. Okay, that actually helped us quite a bit. Thank you, sir.
Which one did he say
You-
was the one that took the picture, or did he just mention that both of them came
It
by?
was. Oh, yeah. I think he mentioned that it was both of them that took the picture, but let me.
It was, that was it. It was Wagiri and Kawa. Kawa is the Gamamon.
Kamo. Yeah, it was both of them that took pictures, so it was Rugiri and the Gamamon Kawa. Okay. So Kotora is gonna reconvene back with the group and is going to relay the information if they haven't already heard it.
All right, so we got a theme, then we had a coincidence. I got that backwards. First we had a coincidence, then a theme.
Indeed. So I think those Regiri's colleagues are definitely becoming more and more suspicious by the minute.
Yeah.
Okay. As Wagiri's just sitting right there listening to all this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I took pictures of this place just a few days after the rains came. I was checking it out. I could show you the photos if you want. I think all the ones from last week though, I think I already sent off to the headquarters over in Kinzo. So I'm not sure if I still have them lying around. I kind of was taking so many, I forgot which ones are which, but I could see if he against like looking through his bag. I could see if I can find the one I took at this place.
Nah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Although, I think the thing that we're mainly focusing on is the fact that your Gamma colleague was with you, and we're pretty much kind of.
Oh, he's his own reporter. He's not. He's more of a competition than he is anything. We're both reporters here in town, so we kind of end up competing. No friendly rival, of course, friendly competition in town. But we're both reporters in town, so we both kind of make our own stories in the newspaper. Sometimes it overlaps, but sometimes we have our own stories.
That's fair.
Out of curiosity, where did he stay when he was in town?
He actually doesn't stay in town. He actually lives outside of town a little bit. I've talked to him a few times here and there, both being in the same profession. He actually lives outside of town.
Where?
In what location? Yes.
You gotta think. I don't think he ever really said where he lives specifically, but I think it's somewhere in the east. Maybe in the northeast, maybe? I think he was talking about someone out there. Or kind of that general direction. He didn't mention very much, but I don't keep track of where people live, but I think he's talked about up there a little bit a few times.
That's unfortunate. Well, I suppose it's a lead, but is bigger than the other one we have. I suppose it's still better that we end up going west.
No, the other one's to the east as well.
Oh,
we're in the western part of the city.
No, I remember we going to investigate the water. That we're going west there, right?
Oh, it's east.
The water, the lake's in the east.
Oh, okay, sorry. I
all of it's in the east right now.
Okay. Well,
the west is the farmlands.
No, okay, sorry. I just confused them. Okay, so they're, yeah, the okay, so northeast and the waters are also east. I suppose we can go and see if we can find his residence after we're done investigating where the rains comes from.
Yeah, we could also, while we're on the way there, if we meet anyone, we could try asking if they know where they live.
Yeah.
Yep. So right now you have a vague location in the northeast, and then you have a guaranteed location in the direct east, which is the lake.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, this is actually good. We're getting more information. Nah. I think we should actually order something to eat in this location just to help out this shaman. I think he needs it.
Yeah, it's
We-
getting pretty late in the day. We might need to leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's worse ideas, especially if this is one of the least glitched places around.
Yeah. Hmm.
Dinner
What would you
it
guys-
is, then, I guess. What?
Kotora is gonna go back to the shaman and just tell him, hey, we're gonna be sitting down and take and we're gonna be sitting down to eat. You can come take our orders whenever you can.
Oh, I could do that. You kind of see him. Yeah, I'll get down. Oh yeah, be right there. And he'll kind of walk his way over to you guys and start to take any food orders you have. It seems to be a very, very large amounts of fish-based dishes. It does have a very, very large amount of sushi platters, ironically enough.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I had a feeling this be a fish a fish location.
Yeah.
Danger, 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 sushi.
Yeah, Arcus is gonna have the sushi because it has rice.
Haboku will just eat whatever's placed in front of him.
Pretty much the same with Riv. He is not a picky eater.
Kotora will eat a trout if there is.
He's just gonna eat the trout, the whole trout, nothing but the trout.
Actually, I guess I should give this one thing. Riv does tend to eat things if they are still good or tasty
I would
when
hope so.
cold. Well, I wasn't done talking. Come on.
I eat things when good.
Like I said, if they're still good or tasty when cold.
Yeah. I mean, he gets plenty of warm food from Kotora since he eats from Kotora, but since he does travel a lot, he needs to be able to eat things when they're cold.
Does that mean Riv's a pizza fiend?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. I mean, he just eats things. I mean, he'll eat anything that's put in front of him. It's just that he prefers things that are also tasty when cold, considering he tends to rapidly cool down his food on accident. So it's like more of a, oh, hey, if I want to have like a good meal, I gotta make sure I'm able to eat it
Yeah.
while cold.
Yeah. So soups are out of the question because they'll turn into slushes.
Though we should avoid talking too much about food because there is leftovers still in this house.
I've been thinking about that the entire time.
Same, and I'm trying not to.
Same.
But sushi. Sushi.
I will say, what would be everyone's if you are going to eat the sushi? What would your character's preferred sushi be? There is cooked sushi as well. That is a thing as well. There is the fried, kind of like that fried sushi.
Oh, sushi pizza. Me trying to think like Jace, but sushi pizza.
Again, I don't think I don't think Haboku would have any a real leaning towards anything. If anything, he'd probably the concept of sushi would probably be new to him.
So many new things for the pepper. Do they just have like a platter where people can just grab from, like traditional style, throw it in the center
Yeah.
of the table and go?
Yeah.
Probably the best option for the group of whatever works.
And you order your food, and with the amount of money that you paid, Jay, so he would be happy to give you guys pretty much all you can eat for this day for all 6 of you guys, especially with the business being the way it is. He's able to provide food to you all guys for as much as you could eat tonight.
Does Asher eat the sushi?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Sim, you there?
He probably got
Sorry.
pulled away.
Sorry, what was that?
Are you gonna eat the sushi?
No.
Is it because there's green in there?
No. He just does not like sushi.
Does he eat fish?
He is picky on that. As
What kind
I
of
am.
fish dish would What kind of fish dish do you think Asher would get?
Super fried and basically a vessel for delivering tartar sauce to mouth.
He will bring out. He will give you the best fried scallops you have ever seen. They are. You can basically just tapping on them with the fork has an audible crunch to it, and the tartar sauce is visible with spices.
So he's gonna absolutely ruin it with tartar sauce and ask for more at least 5 times. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never had
Now I'm just
scallops, but I'd give them a try.
Now I'm just thinking of that one guy from Mashal, if any of you guys have watched it, who like dips his food like 10 million times in tartar sauce, and when someone like brings it up, he goes, "Obviously, I'm eating tartar sauce with a side of shrimp."
Also, since apparently the shaman has said that we have an all you can eat here, Kotora is gonna end up eating way more than you usually see him eating.
Jace is probably going to also join you in that, and probably have a few more drinks if we're planning on betting for the night. This man's getting another bite left behind, by the way.
Yeah.
Where would you stay in town? Is the question.
Probably here. I mean, we're already here.
There is more than enough. You could almost just assume at this point that there is more than enough rooms here.
Well, considering we know that the business is
Completely
the opposite
off.
of booming.
Yeah.
And Jace is drinking and eating too much, and Kotora is eating too much, so the less walking is probably the better.
So yeah.
As the night kind of runs down, I will say, Gary will ask, if it's okay, I need to go probably check on my room if you don't mind. I do kind of already have a room paid for.
Oh yeah, no, you should make sure to check on your room, even just so that way no one's gone into it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, like I said, the nice kind of red light helps me sleep at night sometimes. Actually, it's kind of nice to sleep with a little red light on.
Oh, he's got one of the red light black groups. Nice.
Be safe.
I'll head back. You can just feel free to come back over to the Flaming Mane whenever you're ready to head on out to the east. I know the day won't hurt anything, I'm sure.
Kotora gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
And once we give our official, Kotora would say, should one or two of us like follow him to make sure that he's okay or that he's not doing anything untoward?
Maybe,
That's
but
what
I'm
we
really
agreed
bad at
on.
sneaking.
What'd you say, Zim?
That is what we agreed on.
Well, who here is good at sneaking? I'm not exactly good at it myself either because, well, my flaming aura.
I'm okay at it.
I'm not good at it at all.
0 and subterfuge.
That's right.
You have to be a little careful on the ice, so I'm okay a little bit.
So it's me, Arcus, or Asher, huh?
Kotora nuts, unfortunately.
Dross.
I'll go ahead and take care of it.
Okay, be safe, buddy.
You've been kind of drinking a bit much.
Yeah, there's
And
two feelings.
Arcus, no offense, but I'm worried you might get distracted.
Huh?
He was already distracted.
That's Arcus' secret. He's always distracted.
So yeah, Asher's gonna try and sneak after. Apparently doing very well.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
I will say, he doesn't seem to notice you following him as he is going back to exactly where he said he's going back to. You are able to trail him. He takes what you'd expect to be a regular route back to the Flaming Mane. You do see him go through the front doors, and you do kind of trace him back there. What are you doing after he goes through the front doors?
He is going to wait a moment before following.
Okay. You see a few people come in and out of the Flaming Mane. A few more people seem to be coming in than leaving. As you'd imagine, as it is getting more nighttime, people are going to be starting getting back to their rooms. So the traffic does seem to be more heavy in than out.
Okay, he'll go in right after somebody else does.
Yep.
And then follow him up the stairs or wherever he's going.
You'd remember pretty easily where his room is. The room obviously does seem to be closed. Well, not does seem to be. The room to his door is obviously closed, and you can kind of follow that scent. Even once again, you do smell that familiar vinegar scent that does seem to be coming out of his the bottom of the doorway of his room. Are you gonna watch from the hallway? Are you gonna try sleeping in the same room as him?
How big's the crack under the door?
It's a very small crack under the door.
it like a
not enough to
keyhole?
fit.
Is there a keyhole?
Yeah. There's a key. There's a door handle and key.
Perfect.
Well, keyhole in the door handle.
He's gonna look through the keyhole.
As you look through the keyhole, you see what looks to be a very, very dark room on the other side. That similar red light that was you kind of saw before, but it is very, very, very dim and dark in there. With a nice eerie red glow to it.
Truly evil. Asher's just gonna watch for now.
Okay. I'll say if you want, you can either lay outside the door specifically, or you could go to the end of the hallway where that chair is, and you're more than free to sit in the chair a little bit.
Well, no, he's keeping an eye on the guy.
Are you just like looking through the? Are you just like standing in the hall, standing in the hallway, just looking through the door handle?
Yes.
Okay, as you do, you would see a little bit of motion come from inside the room. I can only be assumed to be Ragu. You can hear his voice through the door as he kind of talks to himself a little bit, as he's just kind of mumbling out loud. It's more something akin to what you would hear from Riv if they ever mumble out loud. It just
He
seems to be
does.
talking about photos and the like.
He mumbles a lot out loud. Yes.
The familiar sound of rumble and mumble seeming to be coming from inside the room. After a bit, though, you see them. You see the motion kind of go towards one side of the room, with the faint sound of a bed that seems to be kind of creaking a little bit as you're kind of keening in your senses to the door. But after the bed begins to creak, you don't hear or see any other sounds coming from the room.
He will give it about a half hour before trying to go in.
The door is locked to the room.
Break it open.
As you begin to try banging on the door,
No.
I'll say Rigiri would probably let you into their room, you'd imagine. He seems friendly enough so far. But your level of trust with him, I think, is in shambles.
Exactly.
You do see a few Digimon that seem to come by, go into their own rooms, and a few of them do kind of stare at you curiously. It looks like whoever's in there just left their dog outside the room, whereas you see a few people just kind of looking, a few pity looks seem to come your way as a few Digimon seem to pass by you. You kind of hear the mumbling of someone saying, "Oh, that poor heart," as they go inside their own room.
The fuck? Have they never seen a feral quadrupedal Digimon before?
Maybe not. With the devastation around.
I'd say there was a large amount of people who have, but there's some people who probably haven't. So this is a tourist town, so some people coming from really isolated locations.
That's true.
It's not everyone, but one or two of them you do hear.
Still a funny image, though.
Oh, it is.
Asher does not approve of this pity.
I'm imagining he's giving the no look.
Yes. Exactly.
But feel free to do whatever you'd like there. Everyone else, the showman would more than offer you a room, even offering up to have each one of you have your own room. Though he did say that most rooms come in beds of two, as most people travel with either a partner of some sort. But he'd be more than happy to move some beds around if you guys would like to sleep in the same room, or if you'd like to separate into separate rooms.
We would. We wouldn't want to give you we give you an extra work. Just 3 rooms for the six of us would be good. Oh wait, I've got to include the Rigiri there. I guess we would need an extra bed. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Well, Wagiri's back at Wagiri's chilling back at his own place, so
Never
it is
mind
just
that.
you 5 there.
Yeah, no, never mind there. Yeah, just 3 rooms for the 5 or 6 of us. We in case Asher comes back.
Well, I hope Asher comes back. I don't have to follow him. We didn't clarify that he had a. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We didn't clarify that we wanted him to come back after, did we?
No.
We did not.
He's gonna stay there all night.
About 30 minutes have passed since Asher has left Jace.
Jace sighs and pushes himself up to his feet and stumbles a little bit and goes, I got this. Excuse me, sir. Pushes the chair aside.
Jace, if you're all drunk, maybe you shouldn't. That seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I could try and find him.
Do you know where to go back to the Flaming Bane, Haboku?
I can follow his scent.
Kotora's just rubbing the back of his head. I could go with you just to make sure you don't get lost.
Okay.
Jace walks directly into a table. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Oh, you're a table.
Rip, can you make sure he doesn't like stumble onto himself while we're gone?
I know exactly what to do.
Kotora gives me a thumbs up.
Why am I suddenly really terrified?
Yeah, Kotora and Haboku would go back to the Flaming Bane.
You make your way there, and as you'd assume that you'd go up to the second floor, and you would see Asher waiting and kind of looking through a key door hole.
Hey, Asher.
Shh. I'm watching.
What are you watching?
I'm watching to make sure he doesn't do anything bad.
So, what have you observed thus far?
There is a red light, a red glow in his room. Clearly a sign of evil.
Question: Did Reggie mention anything about the red lights when he was explaining how
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he
you
mentioned
see-
it at the other place too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kotra is just going to say, that is actually just part of the process of when it comes to making the photos. It's how the photos get what was the term that he used? Okay, what was the term
Developed.
that he used? Yeah, how they get developed.
That's what he wants you to think. I'm on to him.
Do you want to stay the entire night here, just watching him?
He pauses. No.
Then come on, let's go back.
But what if he gets up to something? He could be pretending to be asleep.
Well, if he is up to something, if he is up to something, the only thing we have to make sure is that that not picture of us is taken, and then we'll be safe. If he does get up to something, and ends up setting somebody else in the town up, unfortunately it be somebody else body getting taken. But we're in the middle of trying to get everybody's things back. So once we're done with this whole thing, hopefully everybody should get their stuff back. So I think we can just let him be for this one night.
Asher glares at the door. Fine. I suppose we can leave him be tonight.
True.
But I still suspect him.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's the same reason why we refuse to let him take a picture from us back at the theater, even if he looks very very friendly and stuff. He is our contact from Kenzo and stuff, but it doesn't hurt to be cautious. And after all, the reason why we're taking him with us is both to keep an eye on him and also, if he isn't part of this whole thing, to keep him safe. I guess we'll know eventually whether he is or isn't an ally.
That we will.
Yeah. And Kotora would lead Asher and Haboku back to the shell shack.
Haboku will probably take a peek through the keyhole and maybe the crack on the bottom just before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
As you look through, you see a very similar kind of red glow about the room. It doesn't seem like the lights are turned off like you'd expect for someone from sleeping, but knowing that the camera, at least from what he was saying, as the photos are developing, do require that red light, you'd imagine that you recall him saying something about sleeping with the red lights on. And you would still have that heavy scent of, little less heavy, but a little that scent of vinegar coming from the doorway as you're kind of putting your eye and muzzle close to the door.
Yeah. How does he sleep with the smell of that stuff?
He apparently just got used to it. He seems to be he use it all the time to develop his photos, so I guess he just got resistant to it. Still don't get how he can stand it though.
Okay. And he will follow Kotora.
It's a peaceful night out as you guys are making your way back to the shell shack. As you enter the shell shack, you see the Shellmon very, very happy to see you guys, and quickly telling you where the others have been and what 3 rooms that you have acquired for the night, and seems very excited and says that he will also make sure to prepare a breakfast for you guys to eat in the morning whenever you guys get up. Just let him know what you can order for in the morning and he'll have it ready for you. Even offers to wake anyone up at a specific time if you guys need. He says he's always up early making sure that all the stuff is prepared, so if you need a wake-up alarm, he'd be happy to be it.
I like waffles.
Riv is currently basically just going on and on about all of the interesting farming facts that he learned from the elderly mushroom-mon.
Jace is staring at him with his eyes glazed over, holding his drink, not moving. Whenever you take a breath, he takes a drink.
And he is going to keep doing this.
Just gone full Haboku mode.
Why
there.
do I get the feeling that he's just not going to get any more drinks and probably sober up then? I mean,
that's why he's
Riv
taking a drink every time
breath?
they drink. He's got to breathe sooner or later, right?
It's Riv.
I mean, you have
Take
heard
a
my
breath
Riv
sooner or
rambles
later.
before.
This is what Jace is waiting for. Is waiting for him to breathe.
Also, just a heads up, Sam, we will be winding down very soon. Both in-game and out-of-game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mostly after a little bit, What, jeez?
Sorry, my cat just hopped into my trash can. Hold on a moment. Go ahead and I've got headphones on. I gotta pull a fish from out of a trash can.
That's pretty funny.
Your cat
Why
is
is
very
your cat-
rambunctious tonight.
Yeah, he gets this way late at night because when I'm late at night, he gets mad at me and he wants me to go to bed because I'm breaking schedule. And if I don't play with him, he'll start to screw around. And he just jumped up on my amplifier because there's no trash bag in the trash can for the first time. He just looked in there and suddenly slid in. Just then looked up at me and went, meow. So he's out now. I don't know what he expected. It's a fucking trash bag, but whatever.
Duppy cat.
This is
I
my
will
idiot
say,
child.
I will say, the night begins to draw on. If there's any last words anyone would like to discuss with each other, I am curious. I'm guessing Asher and Jace is sleeping in the same room. Kotora and Viv, I'm guessing, are sleeping in the same room, which leaves Arcus and Haboku together.
I mean, I was going to offer to steal Haboku because I'm pretty sure Asher's going to sleep on Jace anyways. But leaving
like
Arcus
we-
alone is a bad idea.
I feel like leaving
Don't
Arcus and
forget
Haboku
that
in.
Riv will be spending time analyzing Arcus every single night anyway, so Arcus will probably be asleep by the time he's left alone.
So maybe we just need 2 rooms.
I guess so.
Arcus and Riv can cuddle up tonight.
Oh, so we're gonna have a frozen hedgehog for breakfast.
I mean, do you want a frozen hedgehog or a cooked hedgehog?
Well, you got to first freeze him so that way he lasts longer and then
Preservation.
get him nice and warm.
Okay. So actually, you were gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead. This is last minute words.
So when Kotora realizes that Arcus is going to be sleeping in our room because Rip does want to continue scanning him, Kotora is going to approach Rip and just say, "So, how long are you planning to scan him for, Rip?"
Well, I have a lot of data to work through, and if I want to be done by the end of the week, maybe he's got 3 times as much data in the thing, so 2 times in each limb. Assuming that each one increases the amount of time exponentially, probably like 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, Kotora is gonna boop Rip on his snout and just say, 2 or 3 hours tops, please."
Okay.
Yeah. You know why I'm saying this, right? If you don't actually get your sleep, you're going to begin feeling tired, and then you may actually begin to record incorrect data and stuff. And we don't want it to happen, right?
No.
Happen again.
Imagine seeing Riv rambles, but also in like written format, where it's just
Imagine
one
hearing-
massive long run-on sentence for like 5 pages.
Imagine a Riv ramble, except he's exhausted and sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then, and then, and then the thing exploded at the end.
Don't
I
worry.
feel
it
like we would
has-
have like. See, I feel like Riv would have like shorthand for so many things that it becomes almost illegible to anyone other than Riv, just because of the amount of shorthands that are exclusive to him, just so he can write more page per page.
Yeah, and then he'd also effectively make it like for his internal systems as hyperlink dense as possible.
Kotora is probably familiar with those from Riv. That he may not know all of them, but he'd be familiar with them likely.
He'd be familiar with it. Yeah, so like imagine extreme shorthand run-on sentences that also have like hyperlinks to more things like every couple of words. And he's gonna grumble a little bit and go, but I understand it later.
If you want to give me like a scan check or something on Arcus, you're more than free to. just to see how well it rolls.
Oh, an appraisal check? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And satisfied that and Kotora is satisfied that Rib actually listened to
Okay, well,
listen here.
told
So he's,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah.
2.
That becomes a 2.
Yeah. So Kotora is actually satisfied that of Rich saying that he's gonna just do this camp for like 2 or 3 hours. So he's gonna go to his own bed.
He's gonna lean towards 3 anyway.
Yeah. Kotora knows he was leaning towards 3, but just that he doesn't go beyond that is what he's hoping.
I would say you're able to do it in 3 perfectly fine. And maybe usually about 2 hours 50 minutes. You're able to kind of do what you need to, kind of wrapping it up. And with that, River will do that scan. I think Asher falls asleep on Jace. The beds themselves seem pretty comfortable. It is an inn, so it's very much as comfortable as you'd imagine it could be for an inn. It is one of their main, businesses is providing a good sleeping habit, but you can tell the rooms seem very much the same as each other. Almost very luxury enough, but all the beds seem to be made and everything seems to be put together enough for it. The smell in the room seemed to be lightly scented. You're not really too sure where the specific source of it is, but there does seem to be a light scent coming from the rooms. Pleasurable scent.
Haboku will just hop into the unoccupied bed. Quite unlike the previous night where he'd been and rigidly in place, now he just seems to have gone back to sleeping regularly.
Hence why I wanted him in the room, because I was worried he was going to do the drift off and stare out the window thing again. Good to know you're actually sleeping.
With that, if there's any last comments?
I mean, I did roll to see if he set up the second sleeping bag. And
91 is...
yeah, he set it up.
You set up beside your bed, even though, you're sleeping in an actual bed, and then you just put the sleeping mattress next to your bed on the floor.
Yep.
Well, he wants the authentic adventure experience.
The adventure experience, TM.
Nothing like adventures, like sleeping on an in-room floor for no good reason.
But authenticity.
I mean, we're not going to put our ideas in Arcus's head, so we're going to just accept that.
Also, I'm hoping Jace took the opportunity to have an educational experience with Riv.
No, he absorbed exactly -1 of that. He knows less about farming now. Which is funny, because he grew up in a farming town, so he knew a fair bit, but somehow he lost information in all that talk.
This is wildly unfortunate, because this means that once he finds this out, Riv is just going to think he has to explain it again. But better.
See, the secret is that Jace is just never going to bring it up.
This will be on the test.
Yeah, but exactly. There's gonna be a test, so...
Jace is just going to look Riv directly in the eyes and be like, buddy, I was drinking. How much information do people typically retain when they're drinking?
Do people normally forget things when they drink?
Oh, buddy, when you're old enough, we'll have a conversation. Pat walks away. Welcome to Dad Club, by the way, Corda.
Now, what was that?
I said, welcome to the Dad Club, Corda.
Go to...
Go ahead,
with that, You're good. I'll say. With that, I'll say that it is officially the night will close, and there will be an uneventful night this night, in particular.
Okay, so next night we get ambushed. Got it.
Yep. Obviously.
Yeah,
you
he just
have a
confirmed the
peaceful
next
sleep.
night is going to be awful.
You have a very peaceful night, one that feels like it could last almost forever.
All right,
So
everybody.
peaceful and so
So
beautiful.
So the next time we rest, we're gonna need to be extra paranoid and metagamey and make sure that we extra watches and set up
Buddy
traps.
system on watches.
Yes.
Oh, we'll
yes,
just double up and we'll make sure to set up all the traps.
exactly.
Asher finally getting to put trap making into use sets up booby traps around camp.
How to make sure this poor guy never gets a customer again. Let Asher at it. No offense,
I
Asher,
mean-
but
I mean, it probably would have made more sense to leave trap cups near wherever Gary was.
With that, it has come to a close. I'll let them do their little outro, but I do appreciate everyone listening. I am a little bit low on energy today, so I do apologize for that.
You're fine. It's a low energy day anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a holiday.
Yeah, which automatically makes it low energy. You have to deal with your family.
yeah, it's also a day where people typically overeat on turkey, which tends to make people sleepy.
Yes. Chemicals.
I am only now having turkey.
Yum.
Well, I had a little bit earlier. But anyways, thank you everybody for joining us today for Data Anomaly Hunter Scar. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, grabbing packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or subscribing to us over on Streamloots as well as YouTube. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Later, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.